So, welcome everyone to the Call of Cthulhu, Pulp Call of Cthulhu, Gaslight, Shrouded. What do we call it again? Shrouded Whispers in the Gaslight. I don't know. It was good. I thought it was neat. I thought it was neat. So we are doing a Pulp Call of Cthulhu in the setting of Victorian England. So what I thought I'd do is give you a sense of the um, background of the how it's going to be run, but also a sense of the environment and the world we will be storytelling in. I I'm also taking this opportunity to be a bit different in my DMing. I'm trying to do more storytelling aspect to DMing, so I might be asking a lot of questions like, "How do you feel? Describe how you feel. What do you see?" So I hope you guys are all comfortable with that. But the other thing is, so let's talk about the Call of Cthulhu, the world we're building, um, or the campaign aspect. So basically, Call of Cthulhu um, and the pulp Call of Cthulhu and the Gaslight, set in Victoria, England, and both Chaosium has some really good resources, but as well, Stygian Fox is a kind of a independent publisher. They do a lot of kind of resources and campaigns and modules, and they actually have created something called the Hudson and Brand um, series. And what it is it's a sense where Hudson and Brand create their detective agency, and it's called the Inquiry Agents of the Obscure. And there's a lot a lot of materials out there, and I've been able to access them, and that's great. So, in a sense, what we're creating is a world in which the characters you're creating, for whatever reason, have been approached to kind of work for Hudson and Bran. Um, whether not necessarily straight on employees, you're just starting, they're just reaching out. And that idea of, for whatever reason, you've caught their eye and they want to kind of engage you on some of the work they do. And we'll get into a little bit more about what that means. But what it means is that the Gaslight materials that Chaosium just published, and that's kind of out there, because Gaslight has been out for I don't know how many years, but they've it's actually there's quite a lot of kind of independent third party publishers around some of that. So what I've done is created a series of probably going to be about 7 cases kind of thing that we'll be going through, and that'll be kind of the campaign kind of thing. Um, with the idea of maybe kind of adding a few others if people are interested. So the other aspect of this, it's a session 0. We're going to give it a go. Let's see how it goes for this first kind of um, case. And then if you're still interested, great. We'll kind of continue on. If it's not what you're interested in, you're not uh, or you're not interested in kind of that storytelling aspect, that's okay, cool. I don't want to have anybody feel like they have to be a part of this if they don't want, right? Because we all come, we all get something different from these tabletop role playing games. So that's kind of where I'm at with this. There's no foul, no harm, as they say. But let's give it a go and see where it goes. So I wanted to kind of also, so that's kind of the structure of how this is going to go, and how you all fit together in the stories. I want to talk a bit about Gaslight and Victorian era, and particularly why I think it actually is a great era for horror type storytelling, because it's an interesting era of very of a lot of changes happening. Um, it's the environment is fairly basic, but So there's not a lot of electronics, there's no like that, but there's still a world out there that's quite fascinating. So what I thought I'd do is kind of give you some key points of the kind of Victorian era, talk about why I think some of these things are really interesting. I mean, the Victorian era is kind of like the beginning of some really interesting, and the publishing of some really interesting kind of horror-based books. We've got Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. We've got uh, Bram Stoker's Vampire. We've got Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, Woman in White. These were kind of very iconic, and they've become very iconic um, uh, symbols of horror and in essence the basis of a lot of kind of even current horror stories and horror storytelling. Um, and there's a reason because the Victorian era campaign was kind of um, had a lot of changes and had a lot of dichotomy. You had a changing from it was the end of kind of getting near the end of kind of the industrial revolution, and you're getting into a lot of changes both in the social network and social welfare and in the class system, and even changes a lot of changes within the population, huge mass uh, uh, migration of different types of populations, and a lot of it being centered on London. So, you have an interesting mix of people coming in together for a whole bunch of different ways on a very different levels of class and very different levels of from poor to the middle, a growing middle class to kind of, and of course the existence of an upper middle, a very big upper middle class. Um, then of course the iconic Jack the Ripper, which has kind of formed a lot of bases of uh, uh, stories, and in a very kind of uh, you know. Uh, uh, a lot of different interpretations of what happened and just the sensationalism of it all. Um, so again, just to kind of give you a quick rundown of Victorian England, it basically the Victorian age starts from 1837 when Queen Victoria became queen to her death in 1901. Like I say, we had a lot of changes in the social welfare system. We have Charles Dickens kind of writing and publishing about social welfare and social justice and the poverty. Um, we had changes in there's a lot of reform, political reform, um, going from only a very small percentage of kind of landowning people being able to vote to kind of growing and kind of that start of changes. And of course, it took a lot longer for the changes to kind of all come forward, but there is a sense that it was kind of rooted in that time. Um, there is the introduction of the penny post. So the introduction of kind of postal started in 1840, which kind of blew my mind when I saw that 70 million letters were sent within the next year. So again, that sense of how people communicated, especially with people who were farther away from them, um, that was changing. The world's first underwater tunnel opens beneath the Thames in 1843. Frederick Engels publishes The Condition of the Working Class in England, 1845. September 1845 is the Ireland's potato crop begins to fail, which in it becomes the basis of a huge change of population from Ireland going to 1 to 2 million people going to various cities in North America and Great Britain. Um, we have the first Jane Eyre is published. Jane Eyre publishes Charlotte Bronte in 1847. Then, of course, we've got really interesting changes in the standards of health and social. The Public Health Act, is starts in 1848. Putting improvements in sewage and food standards. The Karl Marx moved to London. We've got infant vaccination is made compulsory in 1853. So you got a lot of these kind of health and social changes. Florence Nightingale sets up her Nightingale Training School in 1860. Um, it just kind of, there's a lot of issues here with regards to uh, an interesting thing with regards to Victorian England. They started to have, it's actually that's the era in which you start to have a sense of childhood, that there is, children, the development of a construct of childhood, which is interesting because, in the middle class, there was a lot more attention to children and their education and their social welfare. However, with poverty, you still had children working, working in the streets, or sorry, working in factories, in running a lot of orphans because of the issues of poverty and health, and so very kind of dichotomy in that kind of sense. In one hand, you have people who are very rich or well off, and then this poor parts of London where people were crammed and crowded and ill health. Um, um, so yeah, I think it makes an interesting things. 1888 was the Whitechapel murders, which is the start of the mystery of the Jack Ripper. Oscar Wilde publishes The Picture of Dorian Gray, another interesting kind of horror-based book in 1890. And yeah, that's kind of things. Dracula is actually published in 1897. And oh yeah, what I thought was interesting, the publishes War of the Worlds was published in 1898. So that's the world of Victorian England, specifically more probably more focused around London than anything else. And this is the world in which we are dealing with, in the sense that it's a world in which there is a lot of horror from a kind of humanity point of view, but also there's a lot of mysticism in Victorian England. There's also a lot of superstition in Victorian England. So there's that sense of, even with among the people, there is a popularity and a fascination with regards to death. They had London had an underground railway, specifically only to transport the dead from central uh, London out to the graveyards further out afield, so for burial purposes. So there was a sense of ceremony around death that was quite fascinating. There was very popular to have things like pictures of your of so when people die, they were dressed up and you'd have family portraits. And again, it's strange but rather fascination with death. So that's the world we're creating and living, or playing in, and that's kind of what I'd like to what you want to keep in mind when you create your characters. Now, I know some of you might have created characters already, so we can get into that as well. But for those who haven't, the um, the character creation, the character mancers are quite interesting. It's a for me, it's a good tool. I've done it a couple of times, and so yeah. But before we get into that, does anybody have any questions, thoughts, comments? Come on. Nobody? Okay. So, um, so before we actually get into it, let's. What I'm going to ask. I don't have any kind of tokens, but what I want to do is kind of introduce each one of you and to say what you're interested in, and if you have created a character, you can talk a bit about it. If you haven't, you can maybe talk about what you're thinking your character might look like. Why don't we start with Vixter?
Oh crap, I got a bloody nose, so I had my mic off. Uh, and I got a big Kleenex stuck up my
No,
bloody nose.
no.
Was
Yeah,
that
I feel
Debbie?
I feel
Debbie
like you're
got you?
beating me all up already. No, I'm just kidding. No,
Are you
no, I
okay?
seriously do. I'm having a bloody nose.
I know. I'm
Um,
just saying, are you okay?
well, yeah, and I had to go run it. So I messed a little bit because I had a running gap, a new Kleenex box, because of course this happens, and I pulled the last Kleenex out. Anyway, the drama begins. Uh, are we allowed just to pick one of the pre-gens?
You can. The pre-gens were actually, yeah, you can if you want. Yeah,
No,
if you
I
want, you
don't
can
have
just
to if you don't want me to.
no. If you want to actually, if you want to pick one of the pre-gens for the story, that's great. And if you want to create a different character afterwards, that's okay as well.
Oh, it's just I saw on the Discord people were saying they want the chemist or the zoologist, right? So I thought, oh, okay. So if we can pick a pre-gen, I think I like the idea of Honest John.
Honest John?
Yes, please.
Okay.
And yeah,
Okay, hang on.
digging around the
Honest.
sewers. Why not? I'm a public
Woohoo.
servant. I do that every day.
Uh,
But I'm excited about this because I do have a history degree, and so I always am excited when we go to different historical periods. I'm excited, and I really enjoyed that introduction. Kind of gives us a nice idea about, okay, what the setting is and what the social norms are. And that will be very helpful for role playing the characters. So thank you.
Uh, all right. We're gonna go with Quill.
oh, there you go. Throw me in it. Well, I was going to create my own character.
Okay.
You want me to talk about my own character?
Sure. We can create it later. But yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought it would be fun given the time, given the timeline and things like that. I would like to say, being from Northern England, that the North was very, very important during this time. It's what gave London its money. There you go, being oppressed by Southerners always. Um, but yes, interested in the idea that London, like many other big cities like New York and Paris and things, has this kind of um, a lot of stuff going on, street urchins and things like that. A lot of newcomers coming in, a lot of new discoveries and new things like spices and coffee becoming more available. And of course, you've got gin, which has its own problems and things as things progress. So, quite excited about that, and thought that my character would be a bit of wheeler and a dealer, someone who kind of can, like you see in that time, you know, it's not necessarily a street urchin, but has come from a working class trade background, and yeah, can also mix with, you know, the young men who like to race and have gambling and things like that. So that's kind of where I am. But um, yeah, interesting era. A lot of things going on at the time.
Cool. Um. So who's next? I'm just gonna go on the bottom low. Ray.
Hello. I was like trying to prepare for the game, so I made a character, but I'm happy to make a different one if it fits the story better. Because I basically got a little obsessed with the Mummy, you know, the OG, the Mummy, like from the 1990s, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I was like,
Totally.
what if I make like a Rick O'Connell kind of character? But they look like Winona Ryder when she was like in the 90s. So, you know. So I kind of made that kind of character,
Cool.
like a kind of, yeah, like they want to be the hero, but they're witty and they're wisecracking and they're a little bit annoying, but it's charming really, you know. And they get themselves into scrapes, but it's okay. They can shoot people and they're good at that, you know.
I
But
think that's fabulous.
yeah. If that works.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I actually put points in like brawling and stuff for once. Like I actually have points in handgun for once, and I never do that. So
Did you
you
use
know,
the character
yes,
creation thing?
yeah.
How did you find it?
It was good, so it worked. But sometimes you get a bit of a glitch where if you choose an occupation and then you change your mind, it does glitch for a second, and you just
Okay.
reload the page and then it comes back again. But it was
Cool.
really helpful. Especially with the idea of like the extra bits, like the extra traits and stuff that you get. Yeah, very helpful. So yeah, definitely, yeah, worth it. Yeah,
Cool.
cool.
Um, uh, that looks great. I just opened up and it looks fabulous. And you took the smooth talker and the resourceful talent,
Yeah.
which is fabulous. I have to say, I didn't realize when I first set this up, I had loaded the compendium, but I didn't realize you then had to go in and share the compendiums. So, Ray, if you want to create a different one, because there's a lot more options, but this is fabulous as well.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I can create a new one
okay.
with different. Yeah.
Okay, fabulous. And so, yeah, so then there's how about Andrea?
I haven't made a character. I was just looking at some of the pre-gens and I saw that there was a zoologist who's interested in cryptids, and I was like, that that sounds great. I really like that idea. So whether I tweak it or I use that as is, I thought that might be a really fun base. Um, and I wasn't sure if I know for like let's say the last Call of Cthulhu, uh, like spot hidden and listen were like some of our big skills that we use. Are there certain ones that we should keep in mind when we're making our characters that are going to be like more prominent that we should kind of all keep in mind, or?
I think it really what. So here's what I'm going to say to people is that if you whatever you want to create, you create it. If we feel that there's something lacking in the group, which you might need for a case, I think what because the idea is that Hudson and Bran have their own kind of resources. So they have
Mm-hmm.
informants, they have connections with people in different various classes, so they can kind of assign somebody, or they're allowed they'd have an option for you to kind of like say you need to find out what's the word on the street. Well, there's a couple of street urchins that they pay, they've kind of made a connection, and that can give you advice and stuff like that. So um, I think that's sorry. And that's yeah, so don't feel like you have to, but I would imagine that things like but again, it's not necessarily have to be that everyone has to have like spot hidden or listen or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
You can take a look at each other's, and especially the if you wanted to pick the pulp ones, um, the pre-gen ones, then you can look at those as well. But again, it's all really, I wouldn't worry too much, because there's
Okay.
ways to kind of deal with it if it comes up as an issue. Just like when Calix ran theirs, the ability to kind of pick up a couple people who could pick locks
Yes. Yeah.
was
Yeah.
very, very useful. Was very, very useful. And so I kind of borrowed that.
We had to save our shoulders, you know.
Oh,
Hey,
no, no, it was
we only
so
get
fun.
two a person.
All right. So which one's the zoologist?
Jane Griffin. So it says
Jane
Jane
Griffin.
Griffin, Zoological Explorer. So they kind of
Oh,
have, again, at this kind of being a juncture of science, but not really having a wide scope of the world, but trying to look at things through a scientific lens.
yep.
That, you know, which creatures exist or don't exist, what is rumor, what is just yet to be discovered. And so she has some like travel experience and like biology and things like this. And within the pre-gen, it's that she has like a patron from like the Pioneer Club, a professional women's club who kind of finances her research or whatever. But depending on however the things shake out, you know, uh, that can be a separate thing to any of the other characters or what have you. So
Right.
I like this as a basic mold, and then happy to tweak or adjust as
Yeah.
needed.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? I can totally understand like the pulp one is a little bit different in the sense that you get things like talons that give you a
Mm,
little bit more beefiness to the role, and you get to do things like get some of your sanity points back and your luck points back and all that kind of stuff. So, and we'll get into a little bit more about how those rules go, but that's very very cool. Um, so the next one is I'm just going to bring up Honest John as well. Is Calyx.
I took the chemist, Emily Fairweather. Um, it says that she's sad that she couldn't have kids, but seriously, she's a chemist back then. They tasted everything, so
yeah,
That's probably a
there might
wise
be a
move.
reason.
really, are you surprised?
Yeah,
And I had the vague idea of like changing those spaniels to corgis because, Elizabeth had to get it from somewhere.
cute.
But,
Oh,
you know,
great.
and
Yeah.
or possibly, a Labrador. Have you seen the T-shirts? They've made them laboratory retrievers, and you had a golden retriever
No.
with with a microscope in its mouth.
I have to see those. I'll have to look for those. No, I haven't seen that one. Okay, so that's very, very cool. So that's fab. I bring those up. Um, and so maybe what we'll do is we'll do a quick one with Quill doing theirs, and we can kind of maybe walk through and kind of explain the how it kind of works. Um, so Blue, do you want to just kind of start your character because you do have a sense of what their talents are and stuff like that, I think.
Yeah, yeah. The
Can
only thing presently now is just their archetype.
can I ask a question?
Uh,
Like, so with
yeah,
these ones that you the pre-gens, like we just have the bio and information. There's no character sheet with it.
yeah, there is. Don't tell me. Yeah, you should be able to see it.
I think you need to make it
Do I need to
editable
show it?
by the players
Okay,
so that we can
okay,
see it.
okay. Sorry, I will do that right now. Uh, so we'll. Where is this? Sorry.
Oh no, don't be sorry. I'm just like I can see his bio, but and I can see his stats underneath, but I can't actually get into the character
You can't
sheet.
get
And
into
that's
it.
just
Okay.
you just edit and you just make it so that all
Oh yeah, in
players
players. Yeah, all
can
players.
play it.
Fabulous. Yeah.
And that's good to have all players just because if someone's not here, then someone else can run the character.
Yes.
And then everyone can see
Yeah.
each other's character sheets, which is helpful when you're doing session 0 to see who has what stats, so you don't kind of have too much crossover. If you're gonna go mega,
Yes. Edit.
are these characters that are from the book?
Yes.
Okay.
And they'll be and they're from this, and so it's in the 4B. So the 4B masterwork is our first case kind of thing. So they're pre-gens for the actual
Oh, adventure.
case. Adventure. That's it.
Cool.
Yeah.
I noticed
Yeah.
that Honest John has 3 rat pets, so I'm quite excited.
3 what?
I have rats as pets, 3 of them, and they
Oh,
both have their
Ooh.
back legs are slightly maimed from getting out of traps. So
That's incredible.
I have 3 rats. I'm super excited, and I also have 8 kids because apparently I really like my wife. Be damned if I can remember their names.
All right. So I think
Girl
now.
with one woman, I think you're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
If she
So-
survived childbirth 8 times, and this,
I know.
Mm-hmm.
like,
Oh,
God
yeah.
bless her,
Well,
she's
in fact,
she's the holy
She's
grail of
got
women.
8 kids living. She may have had more kids.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
True.
We do love each other too much.
Okay. So I think, and it should be under Pulp 2. You can get it. So check out your character sheets. Um, and
Mm.
and Blue Quill, did you want to create one now, or do you kind of want to walk through it, or do you want me to kind of do it on
No, we
here?
can create one now.
I wouldn't mind just going through it and like. Do you mind if I have just a character sheet so that I can just go through it and
Yeah,
watch
yeah. Feel
and
free.
do
You
it?
guys can just create. Yeah, you can create the character sheets. I think, can't you? Just
Yeah.
yeah. So what I like about the character sheets is that you uh, it kind of does all the calculations, which can be annoying though if you hit like a couple of bad rolls. And in fact, if you want to try and experiment with the different ways of doing the points, feel free. Um, the you so you have to so you launch it, you name it, you have to do the setting is Gaslight, you have to hit that, and then you have to hit your Pulp Call of Cthulhu or the Pulp Cthulhu. um
Oh, and it's so
uh
helpful to watch you on Twitch, just so everybody
yeah,
knows. If you want to
Okay, maybe
see,
I'll open a window. Yeah.
you open
yeah,
up the Twitch window so you can follow Hag, because
yeah,
that's what I'm doing, and that helps very much.
yeah. So the idea is that you then create your archetype. So and I was saying earlier, didn't realize I hadn't shared my compendium, which meant if you, so Ray, if you had, when you did that, you probably had very limited
Yeah.
types of architectures, the archetypes. So the idea of an archetype, it kind of helps it will actually give you, uh, it allows you to kind of construct that idea of in essence a background, gives you a sense of what skills you're looking for, because each archetype also kind of has access to different types of talents. And I think the idea is talents again gives you maybe one or two special abilities that are actually could be useful. So like there's one in which I like, which was it's called it helps you, it gives you an extra die, or if you had to do a power roll, which can be extremely useful when you're dealing with somebody who's trying to dominate you. Um, so yeah, so let's go with and each. So when you go into the different archetypes, it gives you an explanation. Sorry, archetypes. It gives you an explanation of um, what their archetype means, the different adjustments, their different attributes.
Just gotta click on
And I
them.
think and suggested occupations, suggested traits. So it's kind of, I think it helps to kind of focus you because there's just so many, right? Because you can go through archetypes like, and some of these, some of these are come from the regular pulp Cthulhu book, which means that it may not necessarily translate well for a Victorian England setting. However, my feeling is you just adjust some of the names and adjust some of the things. So I'm not too worried about that if you do decide. Um, like if you go for an outsider, you got the outsider stands apart. Uh, it just I think it just kind of I like it. It gives you a sense of these things. And what I like about the Pulp Call of Cthulhu Gaslight, it also kind of you get to choose where your class is and a few other things. So let's go with the outsider. Choose select a core characteristic. Um, so probably looking at constitution. And you can roll for your talents, but I find that, if you're wanting to kind of choose, uh, so like for night vision, these talents, like you get a night vision, which basically says, in darkness, you reduce the difficulty level of spot hidden rolls and ignores penalty die for shooting in the dark. So when you're thinking about someplace like London, because of the lack of lighting, the very heavy fog and pollution, often, and you know, you're going into kind of alleyways and very narrow walkways, not a lot of lighting, so very dark. The setting is, in a sense, especially at night, can be very dark and limited view. So having something like this will help. And then you go with, geez, where's my next one? Sorry. Let's look at that. We've got uh, Lucky. Lucky gives you regain an additional 1d10 luck points when luck recovery rolls are made. So again, if you're looking to be free with your luck, then this kind of helps to boost that as well. But actually, my favorite, and I was going to hope to find it, is... Sorry, I've got like 3 different monitors set up. Where is it? Um, yeah, strong will. You gain a bonus die when making a power roll. So again, when you're dealing with things like, uh, I think that's a really good little extra thing. And again, you can look at this and think about who your character is and help to kind of figure out which one would work for something like that. So skills, that tells you the skills you're looking at, suggested occupation, suggested traits. So once you've kind of figured out your uh, archetype, your talents, and your characteristics, you go to your next one, and that's where you start to roll. So you can do 3 different types. You can do roll all. You can do what they call a point buy, or you can do a quick roll. So it's kind of a bit like the stat array. I'm going to do a quick roll all. This interesting. Power is 40. And you can actually go to the chat and it will tell you what your stats roll. So the reason why it was 40 was because there was 2 ones. So I might say like, okay, that's a bit of a penalty. We can re-roll some of those. Unfortunately, it doesn't allow you in the character mancer. But there's something I think afterwards we can look at some of those rolls and allow you to re-roll um, and add and edit that and change it up a bit. But we're gonna go with that, and then we go next. Next is your suggested occupation. I was trying to think. What's it that they suggested when you went back? I'm going to go back to the archetype. They suggested occupations of drifter, explorer, hired muscle. All right, we're going to go with hired muscle. So go occupation, hired muscle. Hired muscle. Pick that. And then it just you can choose one or the other. I think sometimes when you have different types of skills you can choose from, but with this one it's just the ones they've put in. Interpersonal skill is going to be, oof, we're going to have to do intimidate because you actually are hired muscle, and then let's do charm. And then next, you can what happens is it then sets up what the points availability. So it's done all the calculations for what's available. So archetype you can fill in any of these. Occupation points you can fit in the middle, and then your personal ones you can sit here. So for somebody like this guy, probably let's give him a little bit of Okay, he's got charm, so we're gonna pump that up to, let's add another 40. So I'm just gonna add just numbers. Climb, let's give him 40 there. Oops. 40 there. He's not gonna have a great credit rating, but let's give him, got to look, so they'll tell you what the credit rating is, but he's not gonna be that well off. Demolitions, disguise, divination, diving, dodge. Let's give him some good dodge. Fast talk, first aid. He might need to give himself some first aid, so let's go with archetype. Let's give him another 40 on that. Intimidate. All right, so we've got, let's do 20, 20, 20. 20, 20, 20. Listen, let's give him 10, and personal, let's give 30, 35. Don't know what that, 55. Actually, oh, it's too bad. So you can go back and can also play with this a bit more, because we have a lot in the occupation that we gave him stealth. So let's give him another for 50 in stealth. And no, nope, sorry, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do 15 stealth. And let's do 50 in occupation. Track. Do 40 in track for now. Because if he's hired muscle, he has to track people down. Do 15 there. So I have 55 left in my occupation. I'm just going to, let's put it in there. Okay. So we've got this. I should have put brawl. Forgot. It's at the bottom that you have to do all your kind of brawl and things like that. So we're going to actually, let's take it out of psychology. And let's give him 55 in brawl. Because you figure somebody like that, that's where his talents lies. And then if you want to add different skills, you can. So with that, you kind of go next. You can add a background, hometown, birthplace, backstory option. Do I have to actually fill that out? Or can I roll? He's a working class. What did they say here? He wears a mourning memento. Okay. Again, you can roll some of this stuff, which is great. And we will just quickly go through that. Treasured possession. Just to get him fearless, that kind of stuff. So we review that. It'll give us some stuff. I need to actually add things now, don't I? So, but we can finish that. I have to add the age. If you add an age, it does, interestingly enough, adding an age, let's say this guy is 45. It will help. You might actually give you a little bit more numbers in things. So if you look here, it gives me 10 more points in my occupation. So we will add that to intimidate. Let's really beef up his intimidation. Right. So I'm not going to get into is that I have not used all my skill points. Sorry about that. What skill points is left? 65. That's strange. I thought I did. Oh, that's why. Okay. Intimidate. I used the wrong numbers. Okay. And I'm not going to worry about saying that I haven't used all my skill points. 10. Okay, fine. We will add 10 to this. Okay. Obviously, I still need to figure this all out well. So this is enough. I'm going to not worry about the home time or birthplace right now. We finish and we've got the character sheet. So he's got his talent is he's got good night vision and he's got strong-willed. His appearance isn't he's not that good looking. That's okay. His power is low, but that means his power roll strong will give him a little bit of better advantage on that. Technically, I could say re-roll that and just edit and change it a bit. He's got his sanity is 40. Did I do his luck is 70, which isn't bad. So yeah, so that's how you create a character in pulp a pulp Cthulhu character on Roll20. Any questions?
Just going back again, when you did the editing, just remind me, did you do the roll all and then edit afterwards?
Yes. So what you can do is when you do the roll all and you go into your chat, it should tell you. So it tells me here what I rolled for him. So like I say, I rolled a power. So I had let me just roll over this. So I had 2 1s, which isn't great. It's 3d6. So I could actually say, okay, let's take a look and roll a 2d6 and go down. So it's 4, 2, so it's 6. So instead of having, let's go back up here. Instead of having 40,
There's an
it
ad.
should I just add it up and say it's so it'll be 12 times 5, isn't it? Sorry.
Sorry,
Times-
can you do that again? Because an ad popped up.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
So
We just want to make sure we have the
yeah,
visual to go with it.
yeah. So what you can do is, so like I say, when I'm in chat here and I look at the stats I rolled,
Yeah.
I could tell that this one was really low, 40. So it's
Yeah.
2 1s and a 6, which I think for our just kind of be open to things, I'm willing to let people kind of re-roll their ones. So with this one, I went into the if you go to the very side, you can't really see it on the screen right now, but if you go to your screen, there should be one with a D20 die. If you click on that and then you go to your D6s and you roll 2, because he had 2 1s, re-roll 2. It came up as a it come up again as a 6. Wow, I gotta love Roll20 sometimes. So 6. I would say that then I do your own calculations about this. So power should instead of being 40, it would be 6, 12 by 5, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I think it's 3d6 times 5, right? You'll see it on your own thing too.
Yeah.
So 5 times 12 is 60. So you can go in, you can edit and change that to 60.
Okay.
And I'm happy for you guys to do that as well. And then change that back out. And it helps to kind of even things out. His appearance, I'm kind of happy to say his appearance isn't that good looking because, he's a 45-year-old intimidator. He's probably been on several fights. Let's just say in the background he did some illegal prize fighting stuff. Um, he's probably kind of got his broken nose. Uh, why does it say appearance 50 but 45 here? That's interesting. Why did that do? Anyway, still not quite sure about that. So it doesn't look like we rolled any ones on that one either. So anyway, not quite sure about what happened there.
Why?
Uh,
Because it adds up to 50.
yeah, but
Oh,
it
but
says
it's wrong on that
45.
sheet.
It says
Yeah.
45 in the sheet, which is why I'm just like, I'm curious why. But everything else seems to be education. Yeah, it seems to be all right. But anyway, I'm not going to worry too much about that right now. So yeah, so that's how you can do it. So that's how you go back and you edit if you want to re-roll and your main stats. It the problem is if you re-roll your main stats, it may, which affected maybe your points. I don't know if it changes and gives you more points. If that's the case, that's why I would say that uh, if you have some ones on some of your main key uh, statistics, characteristics that impact your stats, um, re-roll them on the actual at the time you actually create your character sheet, um, and we can go from there. Or if you want, we can talk about rearranging things and just if you tell me what the differences are, you can add more points to your skills after that. Any questions?
Sorry. So does that mean like if we had, so let's just say like that power went up by 60,
Yep.
would we have to adjust any of the other ones down because it would increase the
Mm,
total amount or no? Is that
No,
what?
because it's all about what you individually or what
Right.
the computer individually roll for each of the characteristics. So it's not a point buy system
Mhm.
where if you add 20, you have to take away 20.
Yeah.
What it is you're basically kind of correcting a bad roll.
Okay.
Yeah. But we have some really interesting characters. Has everybody had a chance to go in and take a look at their character sheets?
Mhm.
Now that I've given you access?
I like animals, so I was like, "Oh, zoologist, amazing!" And then I was like, "Wait, you get dogs? You get rats? Oh man, this is what happens when you act without reading."
Well, that's it. You can create your own characters and you can have dogs and rats if you want.
Yeah, but you're gonna have the
Hey,
classic
you-
like DM problem where it's like everybody in the party has pets.
Yep, I already
This will
picked
be
one as
fun
well.
for you to manage. We'll be like, Budgie, attack!
Okay. Yes, but that also means I get to mess with more things that you love.
Oh, oh, there you go. There you go. Only bring in what you're willing to lose.
Exactly.
Already drunk with power, and it's only session 0.
Yes.
well, come on now. You're a zoologist. I mean, come on. You could have cheetahs. Um,
Oh
maybe
man.
an elephant. Everybody likes elephants.
Oh my god, yes, do it, do it.
Oh
Well, I
my
was going to
goodness.
say, I did
I'll
see,
be
I
like,
have
it didn't work
Actually,
for my character,
favorite.
but I do have a character sheet for my animal companion.
oh God. I was going
If
to,
zebras are really ill-tempered, you can probably convince them to kick your enemies.
I think it'll be a 50-50 roll. Evens, they kick me. Odds, they kick who my opponent is.
oh,
There
I
is
like
that.
that idea. I like that idea. I was going to say, I know in this timeline I was looking at, I had one where it was the first zoo opened. God, what year was that? Let me
Mm.
just um and I have to say those zoos were not nice.
Well,
Oh,
and
here
they're
it is.
also like, here's people. We will have them as a zoo exhibit. And you're
Mhm.
like,
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. 1847, the world's first public zoo opens at Regent's Park, London. So maybe your
oh, there you
character
go.
was either involved in supporting it or maybe opposing it, however you want
That
it.
that is an interesting thought. Okay, I like that.
Anyway,
Just
yeah, go ahead.
written a post just for the front page of the game here, uh, and so I'm just putting the link to the Character Mancer tool in there, and then
Mhm.
just mentioning that under the compendium in game, we have like the list for archetypes, monsters, occupations for
Yes.
further reading for anyone who wants that.
Mhm.
So I'm
Yeah,
just gonna post that there as a link for anyone if that's handy.
that's great. That's great. And you can access the compendium. Uh, you can access all that in the now that I've shared it. um, yeah, it gives you a whole bunch of different types, and then you can go into this each one, and it'll tell you a little bit more about it. Um, which is really good because you can actually create really very interesting complex characters, which I like. I kind of I do like the pulp call Cthulhu. So I keep calling it pulp call Cthulhu, but really it's pulp Cthulhu. Um, so uh, if you each had a chance to take a look, I'm going to get you. And I don't know, Quill, where are you at with creating your character?
I got to occupation, but I can go back.
Okay. No, 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 no. You keep doing it. What I'm going to
Okay.
do is get each one of you to bring up your character and tell us a little bit more about them. I know it's kind of pre-gen, but in your sense, here's the question I have for you is, uh, given that, because the interesting thing about these pre-gens are this module, this camp case, um, isn't necessarily in the Gaslight. Sorry, it's in Gaslight Call of Cthulhu, but Hudson and Bran is not a part of the Gaslight Call of Cthulhu Chaosium book. So that idea is that all these all your characters need to have a reason as to, or not need to, but I want you to think about the reason why they would have been called on. Why did they catch the attention of Hudson and Bran? Why would they have um, been approached by Hudson and Bran, or thought by Hudson and Bran that your character would be interested in working on these cases with them,
Mm.
or working in? So, in essence, the idea is that these characters, they're not full on knowledgeable of all the uh, horrors that are out there, the supernatural and all that kind of stuff. But they've been touched in different ways to know that the world is not what it seems, and that there's more out there, and that some of it is very evil. The world itself is evil sometimes, but there's also another layer to that evilness that is more about the supernatural. So in essence it could be, and that's up to you to kind of decide how your character may have been kind of involved in that, how their own interests may be, why they themselves would be interested in working for a Hudson and Bran, inquiry agents of the obscure. And think about this too. So Hudson and Bran, one is a retired um, military person, and the other one is a was an investigative journalist who was trying to report on a whole bunch of stuff and got fired because of that. So they've come together, but they've also kind of been in the news maybe on some really interesting cases. They may have one the journalists probably maybe even had kind of published some stuff that showed up in the Penny Dreadfuls. Um, that sense of truth being stranger than fiction. So there's all that kind of stuff of how Hudson and Brand may themselves be in the world that you may have had those connections with, whether it's
Mm.
through because of the casework or because of their various other kind of maybe background, or their other interests and things in the world. So that's kind of if you want to have a chance to think and maybe introduce each of your characters and why they are interested in being part of the Hudson and Brand work. And if you need a few minutes to think that, I'm quite happy to give that to you. And I'm just hoping that Vixter, are you okay, or is your nose still bleeding?
Yeah, we should check.
I know it's kind of,
Bleeding.
it's just a it's just a side effect from the it's just a side effect from
Oh,
the 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 chemo
stuff you're
cream that
taking.
I have to put on my skin cancer because it's on my
Oh,
face and it affects my sinuses and my nose and my membranes get a little more delicate. So yeah, so not a big deal. It just was a bad time to run out of Kleenex. It was like a very
Oh
bad
man.
time. Um, but can I jump in and just get into Honest John? I really like Honest John. I'm not creative enough to think of Honest John, so I love it when you get a module that gives you really cool pre-gens that you can just dive into. And I think, as far as Honest John, he grew up a street urchin. He got into the craft, if you will, or the occupation of toshing, just by being a street urchin. And toshing is scavenging through the sewer systems and the shorelines of the poorer parts of the city, right? And so he's a sewer scavenger, and yeah, I mean, and that's how he makes his living. And he grew up in that situation, so the sewers are second nature to him. One thing though is that he has come, as far as the supernatural. He has seen obviously bloated dead bodies, parts of dead bodies, weird shit in the sewer. He has seen, and the sewer, like any part of the city, is a territory that's run by different gangs or organizations, if you will. And he himself is a part of one. And I'm trying to just see. Oh, he is de facto leader of a small group called the Lambeth Lot. And that's his little gang of sewer scavengers in his little section that they kind of, that's their territory and do their thing. The problem for him is that he always had run-ins with this one guy. This one guy whose nickname was the Crawler. And he sure as shit thought he saw the Crawler take a shotgun to the chest, fall back into the sewer, and there's no way anyone could have survived that. But a couple months later, he saw the Crawler again through a busy street, busy crowd, and there's no way he could have survived. So, Honest John has now got this thing about something's weird with that Crawler guy. Like, how did he survive that? How did he come back? He thinks the guy died. He thinks he came back to life. And ever since then, he's been visiting church a lot and hanging out with a reverend because he's trying to get some kind of sense of how this person could come back from the dead. And so he does have a relationship with the local reverend at the local church, and he does a lot of charity work, having grown up poor. He knows how important it is to give back and all that sort of stuff. But for him, that was the first thing that made him think there is something that we don't understand, that there may be some supernatural powers alive and well on the streets and underneath the streets of London. So I'm sorry if that was a bit of a rant,
oh,
No,
that's
that's
good.
great.
but
Fabulous.
yes,
So,
yes.
so I would say that what happened is probably maybe I can't remember. I'm gonna just choose
Well,
one. Let's just
and
say
he's a
Bran,
useful
and you
guy to
might say,
hang around. Like I'm sure
yeah, yeah,
the Hudson people came to him because
mm-hmm,
he's in the know. He's got a good
mm-hmm,
relationship with the church. He's got a good reputation, but he's also tough as hell.
yeah,
And he can probably get them in and out in a lot of different places For the
Yeah.
underbelly of the city, right?
Yeah. So I could see like maybe say Brand, who's the maybe no, it's more like Hudson, I think, is the journalist, and he's maybe had also heard about what was the name of the criminal guy?
The crawler.
The
Crawler.
crawler. He himself.
Hate the
So maybe
crawler.
Hudson and Brand themselves were interested in the crawler and kind of kept an eye on him and followed his exploits and heard about this, this event where he got, supposedly killed and then came back. And then maybe through their own things had heard maybe your inquiries around some of these things. And they're thinking that here's a guy who has knows things aren't what they seem, has an interest and a curiosity about this stuff, has skills that they're interested in. So they've kind of said they've sent you an invite to come in and join them, on a particular case. So that's kind of the connection you got. You got this invite saying, we heard, an invite. Just see what the invites look.
Just remember, I probably can't read very well, but if it's a
That's
paying
okay.
job, there's a little bit of dosh in it. I got my 8
So
kids I gotta pay. I might
so
need to go.
this is you got this little thing, right? That you read enough to be able to kind of see that there's an address here. Consulting detective. They want you to come in. They want to consult with you on something. You get this card with an invite. What's your thoughts?
Soho. Pretty fancy looking address. 33 Golden Square, Soho. Yeah, it doesn't hurt to take a look. If they can afford these fancy cards, and I know how much these cost to make, these fellas or ladies may have a bit of dosh on them, and so it's worth checking out. Gotta make sure my wife doesn't get pregnant again, so. Yeah. I'm intrigued.
You're intrigued.
And a job
You're
is a
intrigued.
job. And 8 kids is 8 kids. So,
That's true.
yep, I'm intrigued.
That's true.
We'll go.
Cool.
Happily.
Cool. So who's next? Who would like to introduce their character next?
I can go next.
Okay, who's that?
That was pardon?
Is that you, Quill?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I can't bring up your character sheet, or can I? Hang on. Let me just see.
I haven't quite finished my character sheet. But
That's okay. Go in and just kind of give us an explanation of who you are and where you're from and your kind of connection to otherworldliness, why you might be interested in, and why Hudson and Brandon Hudson would be interested. Hudson and Brand would be interested in you.
so my dad's a butcher. And so in trade, and I kind of grew up in London. So I didn't grow up in terms of poor and a street urchin and things. But again, because we were a butcher, we weren't like hugely well off. So I did grow up around those street gangs and things like that and got to know those kids. Chose not to follow in the family business. I've got 2 siblings. Haven't decided who they are yet. And yeah, so as I grew up, I kind of decided I didn't want to be in the family butcher, and I had a bit of a knack for talking and kind of persuading because I had to learn to not have the street kids beat me up because to them I'm wealthy for what they've had. So I kind of learned to talk and quite a sharp kid, and made connections. Kind of did a bit of a wheeling and a dealing, getting things for people who needed things. And then as I grew up, that kind of expanded. I like the freedom and flexibility of kind of being like that. And as I got older, I met more middle class and toffs who kind of every now and then would come down and want to walk on the dark side and the wild side. So I could connect them with women, gambling, fun, whatever they want to do. And then through that, I kind of expanded and started mixing a bit in their world and as a bit of a connector. and a dealer for money. So yeah, so I see this and I'm intrigued because again, I'm a bright spark and I know that I want to keep progressing upwards and don't want to get just stuck and not moving on from where I'm from. So yeah, I see this and I think, oh, this is a interesting prospect. And I have come across some of the more occult things, kind of the ideas, because again, those toffs tend to like all that sort of stuff, as well as some of the folks nearby have ideas of, like spirits and things and like that. And of course, you just can't help pick things up in a cosmopolitan city like London. So yeah, I figure there's a bit of money to be made out of it, and who knows where it'll lead.
So here's the just like kind of Vixter kind of gave an example of why what is that kind of key event that made you realize there's more to the world than you've seen, than is real. That is sorry, that there's more to the world than just the reality you see. Hello?
Like you
Oh, sorry.
can't help but walk through the streets at night and get creepy hair on the back of your neck and see shadows in the corner of your eye and things. And you know, there's a part of me that doesn't believe it, but I do have a feeling that I saw my grandmother after she died, because of course we had the coffin in the house, and I thought she came and visited me, kind of thing, which creeped me out and was a bit scary. But there
What'd
is
you
a
say?
part of me that has a sort of half belief that
Okay.
there's more to this world than we can see. So I'm not actively saying, oh, it's all rubbish. I'm not a religious person. But, a few of my little experiences have kind of hinted at that, even though I
Okay.
tried to persuade myself while I was just dreaming about my grandmother. But, she squeezed my cheek and called me sweetie, as she always did, and told me to take care of myself.
Did she give you any portent? Do not go into the dark. No.
No, no, really, what she was is I could be anything in this world that I wanted to be.
Oh, cool. Okay, so I could see the retired military guy kind of seeing you and maybe hearing from his own kind of upper middle class connections about this guy who could get you what you want, and seeing somebody who can actually be able to traverse the various the social classes, and being able to be a kind of somebody who's not necessarily comfortable in each of the different classes, but has the ability and connections to make those kinds of um, to travel between those three different worlds, the kind of lower class, working class, middle class, and then the upper class. Maybe he's actually, was out with some of them you took to some gambling because he wanted to figure out whether you might be interested. Maybe you told him about the grandmother, and maybe you guys had a discussion about this, and he's understanding that here's a guy who again is useful to us and also isn't is open to having cases and working in areas where there might not necessarily be uh, uh, it's not going to be what you would he's not going to not believe what he hears sometimes. So cool. And do you have a name for your character? Did I miss that?
My character, so far I've called myself George Thwaite.
George Twait. Okay, George
Wait,
Twait.
PH.
Okay. Okay, so who'd like to introduce their character next?
Well, can I just jump in and say, tweet sounds very close to tunt. And I'm just,
It's not tweet, it's Thwaite.
tweet sounds very close to twant.
Sounds like
I just bugging you. I'm just being a jerk. I'm just bugging
it's
you.
more
Okay,
where your mind goes to.
I can
No,
just see.
totally,
I can just
100%.
see when Honest John meets up with what Honest John's going to be telling you about your name.
Twat. Twat tweet.
He's gonna call me a
Tunt.
twat.
Oh, tickle me, Elmo. No.
Oh, this skull, you're all gonna get along quite well, aren't you? All right, who's up? Who's next?
I can go next.
Okay.
Emily is widowed, um, and was married to Lord Albert Fairweather, and his family did not approve of the marriage because Emily is from the working class. However, his great aunt took them in and been supportive, but he's dead now. And Emily's been doing what they can to, make ends meet, but it's not going so well, and it's only going to be so long before great great aunt Matilda passes on. But they're really, really close to a breakthrough. They can smell it. Um, they've also been doing a little bit of lecturing for what was the organization? There's a rep here somewhere. And I can't see it now, but there was some lecturing going on, and I'm going to guess how they hooked up with the what was the organization again? I'm sorry.
That's okay. Hudson and Bran.
Hudson and Brand, yes. And I'm going to take the wild guess that since they're so desperate for money, they were very enthusiastic to come aboard. Um, they also are very skeptical of anything occult or metaphysical, especially
Okay.
after uh, there was a seance to contact the late Albert. However, the medium was a total fraud, and Emily saw right through that.
Cool. Yeah, it says here that they lecture on the circuit of the Mechanics Institute and other working class educational establishments, which brings cool. Interesting character, very interesting character, and that idea too of the just looking at the pulp talents may build and repair weird science devices, and we can talk
Yes.
about that too because um, in the Hudson and Brands kind of location, they actually have a workshop where these kinds of things can happen. So definitely they're interested in your in that scientific aspect, that ability to kind of do weird, wonderful things. Obviously, somebody who isn't just about the hard. I was going to say the hard sciences, but not necessarily somebody who's kind of like it
All
it's that
theoretical.
somebody yeah. It's about, like, somebody who's willing to kind of do the weird things, looking at things and, it's that forward thinking and forward mindedness that they're looking at and thinking, "Here's somebody um, who they can tap into, and have work on some of their projects." Fabulous. Okay, who's next?
I can go if you want me to.
Sure.
Yeah, cool. So I did make a character, but at the time the options were slightly limited with the occupations and archetype and all that. So now I've been enticed by the different
That's good.
archetypes, and I
That's
saw
good.
swashbuckler. So
Oh!
if anyone's seen the film Princess Bride, I'm basically going to rip off Wesley from the Princess Bride.
Sounds very right for you.
That sounds
Right?
so right.
That's my
Ah.
character. I've made Bellamy the Dread Pirate Valentine. That's who I'm in the process of sorting out right now.
Oh, that's
And
fabulous.
they were a farmhand in Norfolk, and they worked for a rich family, and they fell in love with the daughter of the rich family. But alas, they have married the family have married her off to this prince, and they were so upset by it that they ran off and became a pirate. Well, they ran off, went to the high seas, and were kidnapped by a pirate, became a pirate. But now they're on their ventures as a pirate. They came across some very weird things, animals of unusual size, and big rats, and swamps and quicksand, and that made them kind of like think to themselves, oh my god, there's more to this world than I thought. Jesus Christ, I want to help Um, and they wanna try and investigate these unusual things that they've come across more. So they heard about that the two guys, the organization, and they were like, hang on a minute. In a message in a bottle, they read it, and they're like, hang on a minute, these guys know about this stuff. I need to talk to these guys. So they've come to Soho, and they're living in Soho now, trying to find the guys to track them down so they can help them understand more about the world. But they are still upset about their poor Daisy. Her name's Daisy. Oh, are they? What's a pirate without a parrot, right? I saw you can have an animal companion, so we have a parrot now. I haven't given the parrot a name yet, but we have a parrot too.
Okay.
Ta-da!
And so I think so Hudson and Bran they heard about this weird character in Soho
Mm.
who has a has a parrot and
Yeah.
walks around Soho with a bloody parrot on its shoulder. Now, Soho is a rather well-off thing, so I would say that you probably were quite successful as a pirate. You have, I would assume, you would have a fair amount of money, not only because you can live maybe in Soho, or maybe maybe it's not. Maybe you've conned somebody and, and you're doing that. And obviously, though, you have a bit of eccentricity,
Mhm.
eccentricity,
Mhm.
which have caught their, everybody's talking about, and they're looking at you, and they know you're looking for them. So they've kind of said, okay, well, let's see what this person has to offer us, and why they're interested. So you yourself have got an invite to come and meet up with them. That is fabulous. I can hardly wait until you get that character. I also want to know what that token looks like. You're gonna have to give me something so I can make a token for you.
Yeah. I'll use the same picture as the last person because it kind of works.
Okay,
It kind of
cool,
works.
cool.
Yeah.
That works. That works. All right, who's next? I think there's only one left.
Oh, then that's probably me. Yes, I've just been trying to make notes, so I'll have those in the notes just as people are talking. But
Fabulous.
I don't have a full reading of my character yet, but I thought that the way that maybe they connected was they actually approached the reporter. So they saw that they were writing about, um, strange, kind of cryptid type incidents. That there was spotted these strange prints that were leading into the woods, and disappearance of a figure, and this type of thing. So they had seen that they were writing stories about some sort of strange animal type incident that, kind of caught their eye, and they actually sought to speak with them to kind of interview them for more details. What did they know? Who told them what? Did they have any photographs? Did they have any prints? And was pressing them for what information and details they had to add to their own understanding. And that's how they came to know about their background and interest in these kind of animals or creatures that are on the periphery of our understanding. Um, and you know, this character Jane is very still considers themselves to be very logical, very scientific, and is interested in that boundary, because especially at this time that boundary is so fluid as to something you know or you don't know. There are discoveries being made all the time. This is a time where you're digging up dinosaur skeletons and going, I guess there were dragons. I guess, like, there's these giant creatures that are not walking around anymore. We're seeing these bodies wash up of sea creatures that have never been viewed by the human eyes. And so clearly there are things that are out there in the world that we haven't documented and dissected, but that doesn't mean they don't exist. And it would actually be unscientific to believe that somehow the limits of creation extend only as far as our textbooks. because clearly this is a period of discovery where we're learning how little we actually know about the world, and how much there is still to understand. And so she's taking all of this information about whether it's mythical accounts of creatures, whether it's or folktale, whether it's incidents, and trying to see what information could perhaps connect those, and are there ways to document or to understand what perhaps multiple incidents could be pointing to. Like, is there a being that perhaps there's certain folk stories are pointing to, and yet there's some superstition that people are doing in this community, but actually they're all kind of pointing to the outside shape of this actual creature that might exist. So these are the kind of ways she's trying to make connections. And so she's categorizing all of this information that she's learning about, through cryptozoology and all of these different accounts. And she can't say whether certain things exist or don't exist, but she sees that it would be foolish to imagine that they don't, until there's more proof of that. So she takes the documentation, just as seriously as she would for any other animal, of trying to outline what would its habitat be, what would be descriptors of it, what would its diet or habits be, what are the dangers or adaptations that perhaps it has, and so she'll be able to draw on that knowledge, should there be encounters or connections with those type of beings. She's not avowedly saying that this is definitely the way it is, but science is about trying to gather information and find what is true and what isn't true. And so she considers that gathering and categorizing to be vital to the discovery, as they're kind of standing on the vista looking out to the world of nature and creation, and how much there is yet to understand.
Right. Fascinating, fascinating, and I love this idea that you have somebody who, in essence, in the tying in of the discovery of dinosaur bones, and that sense of creation, that the sense of what questions were raised about what creatures would be like this, um, and that sense that and a lot of people were thinking of things that would be, in essence, thinking that these would be mythical creatures, especially when you're talking about maybe dinosaur bones and I love the giant squid dead specimens were verified in 1878. Like, how do you make sense of something like that? That
Mm-hmm.
in essence there is these huge beings, these not beings, these huge animals that could. I think it also gives a sense of how vulnerable humanity feels when they are faced with these huge beings. That sense that people think humanity always thought themselves as being the apex predator, and yet you have
Certainly.
these things that could hurt you, crush you, would have no problems with that. And very interestingly, things like the sense of the unicorn myth came from finding narwhal bones, right? The narwhal.
Precisely.
Things, and how those findings of scientific findings get then incorporated into mythological thinking and storytelling. And yet you
Yeah.
have Jane, who more than likely, maybe in her and I'm not trying to kind of take her over, but I could
Mm-hmm.
see somebody like her actually maybe seeing in her, because this is a woman who is quite well traveled in her expeditions to discover things, and actually being exposed to more for to mythological beings. And how does she then incorporate that into her own sense of self and to her own sense of her own profession and all that? That's just fabulous. And yeah, I can see her hearing and reading some of the tales being written by we'll call, I think it's Bran,
Mm-hmm.
and wanting to find out more, because obviously she sees somebody who shares her passion, but also her questioning of there is more out there than what meets the eye, and I totally understand that. And probably as well, they would have known she was asking questions. She'd probably reached out. She might have even sent a couple of letters to them. And they're
Mm.
looking at it thinking, asking those questions, and they're saying, hey, here's somebody who, again, is open to seeing the world in a very different way. And so, yes, would have sent out maybe an invite for you to come into this. I was reading through the character sheets, and I just want to point out, it looks like, and I'm just going to bring it down here. It looks like they say, in addition to the skills listed, spend 50 skill points to increase existing or gain new skills.
I did see that, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's the same with all the rest of them, whether there's a sense that maybe, yeah. So each of you, so Honest John, Emily Fairweather, uh, you all have an extra 50 skill points you can put into your skills. So probably what they did was they created these characters with the idea that the people who want to play it can kind of adjust and add their own
Hmm.
kind of special spin on that. So feel free to do that, because I'd like to also, I actually love um, looking into people's character sheets and seeing what skills did you think is important for this character.
Hmm.
And it's funny, like Honest John, he's got, I love it, he's got brawl. His brawl is like 65. He carries a large club. I mean, Vixter,
Ooh,
I can just see you having
I
this kind of,
do?
you know, you do. Let me just bring that up. John, John.
I'm sorry, I missed that. So you're gonna let us add some more
Yeah,
skill?
because if you take a look, each one of the pre-gen characters has a notation. In addition to the skills listed, spend 50 skill points to increase existing or gain new skills. So
Where's that?
I would assume what happened with this, with when they created these character sheets, they probably kind of thought, uh, they probably didn't beef things out as much as possible with the idea that you guys get an extra 50 to
Customize, eh?
customize
Which
how
is
you
really
want to do it.
nice.
That's
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
Lets you
yeah,
kind of get your own flavor
Where's my
there or whatever
ball?
you want to emphasize, or if
yeah,
there's some element you want to bring in that they hadn't covered.
yeah. Like Honest
Yeah.
John, he's got climb. He's got a credit rating of 9%. He drives a carriage. That's pretty good.
I do?
He's got, yeah, you drive.
Cool. I got side hustles, man. I'm part of the gig economy in the Victorian area.
There you go,
There
exactly.
you go. There you go. There you go. You got a survival and urban of 50. You've got lore of 20. I like how they've kind of, I have to say, these are really interesting pre-gen characters.
Oh.
Let's take a look at Emily. I'm just going to bring Emily up on the screen. Oh,
Oh, yeah, I do have a large club.
Notice that Emily is kind of
oh,
deficient
there we
in
go.
fighting abilities.
Yeah.
So maybe you'll let me make some explosives with the sheer amount of chemistry I've got.
Oh,
That
that
would be
sounds
Ooh.
good.
awesome.
So that's the same with Emily. Emily can add 50 skill points. Emily's got anthropology, language, library, mechanical repair. Mechanical repair, cool. You've got a high
Yeah,
persuade. You've got a good biology, science, and chemistry. You got 86. Oh yeah, you can make bombs.
Yeah, woo!
yeah,
Oh,
Yay.
absolutely.
and I love it. Science pharmacy, 61.
Oh yeah,
Great.
we're having a good time.
So I either make bombs or I drug the opponents. Great. I'm on board with this.
I mean,
Interest.
you don't have to just drug the opponents, you know. Maybe we have a quiet night in.
Everybody's
Oh,
looking
oh.
for their own.
So what you're suggesting is that maybe instead of like working for a living, that I start dealing for a living instead. Good point.
That's working.
I
That's working, you know. You're
You
meeting a
know,
need in the
I was
market.
gonna say Lauderman was quite popular back then.
I, that's
Yeah.
what I was, yeah,
We're
yeah.
back to the Lauderman. Oh my
If we need
god.
if we need to take the edge off, you know.
hey, I would not be surprised if cocaine was also relatively popular as well.
Mm-hmm.
I have no doubt. And interestingly enough, so I was taking a look at Jane Griffin and Emily. When you take a look at both of them, uh, so Emily, you have membership in the Main Wearing Society, the Pioneer Club, and the Society for Physical Research. Jane, you actually are also part of the Pioneer Club and Main Wearing Society. So I'm thinking you may actually know each other.
Yeah. Woo.
You
Woohoo.
may
Works
have
for me.
you may have consulted with each other. Hey, um, I love it as well that I love Jane's pulp archetype is hunter, and
Mhm.
Emily's pulp archetype is egghead. I'm just going to take a look at what is Honest John's. Honest John's. Sorry, I've got two different screens happening.
It's not very
And
romantic. Steadfast.
steadfast. You are steadfast. Oh, I
Aw.
can see. How many kids do you have? How many kids do you have? Yeah. You're steadfast. You got to be
Yeah.
steadfast to have 8 kids.
It should be.
Oh, he's
It
not.
should say stamina fast or something like that because it can keep
Oh,
it
I
up
didn't.
that long. Holy
Honest John gets
smokes!
the job done.
Sperm fast or something.
Oh,
Sperm
and
fast because I have so much viable sperm.
But
and
you get two
you.
Ooh.
different swim rates.
Oh, look at
That's
that.
Like
right.
Honest John, bad swimmer. Honest John swimmers, great swimmers.
Exactly. Exactly. If anyone's
um.
looking for a donor, let me know.
You. Oh, interesting, John. You have knowledge, specialization in dream lore, vampire lore, werewolf lore. You should, it says, note that occupational personal interest skills should be invested in those skills. That's interesting. I wonder if that says it for the other ones.
I have that
Um,
as well. It says has knowledge of a lore specialization skill. So I think that like I
Oh,
can speak to a
right.
lot of these, but it's like, do you want to pick one or the lore
Yeah.
on vampires, werewolves, whatever? So we should
Yeah.
at least try not to sync up on that, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, my
Yeah.
lore is in ghouls, which makes sense with the backstory with the creeper, like
Nice.
zombies,
Okay.
Yeah.
undead,
Yeah. Yeah.
people that die but come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think undead lore.
I
Okay.
also
Ghouls
Yeah.
want to
means same thing.
I also
Yeah.
want to note that Jane Griffin's is the so Jane, wow. Oh my God, I've just got rated. Woo!
Woo! Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you, Aaron. How are you? Sorry, guys. Um, thank you for joining us. We are doing session 0 of a Pulp Call of Cthulhu Gaslight era, where our intrepid explorers, adventurers, ne'er do wells are interested in in exploring the other worldliness and are being tapped into explore the undercurrents of evilness in Victorian London. So thank you for coming and thank you for the raid.
Penny Dreadful.
So
Vibe of Penny Dreadful. There you go.
yeah, Penny Dreadfuls. That's it.
That's the vibe.
So we're just kind of going over our characters. We've got five players. 3 of them are taking the pre-generated characters associated with the Call of Cthulhu Gaslight book. The campaign is or the case is what's it called again? Something Foundry. The 4B Masterwork. 2 of our characters are creating their own. They've had a chance to kind of give us an overview, but we're now kind of just looking at the various different um, skills and intricacies of each of our characters. Uh, Erin, how are you doing? What did what were you playing this morning or this afternoon? Sorry. Um, it did Kit or sorry, what was the name of Quill's name character? Sorry,
George,
George. George want to add anything?
now my question is, if you create your own character, you don't get any additional bonuses?
Well, I
Point?
think I think. Ooh, ooh, that sounds nice. Um, I think no, it's not that they have extra character. I think they just didn't. I think when they created
Find
the
them all.
character sheets, they didn't
Mhm.
use as
Yeah.
many not as many of their skill points. They just kind of set
Oh.
aside 50 skill points for them to do it. So don't feel jealous.
Oh, I'm just jealous. Yes. And the other question
Laura Lee
was,
and the laser eyes.
we can get extra points if for our age.
Sometimes you can, yes, and you just go back to your skills and add them.
So where
Sometimes.
do you add your age?
Oh, so when you finish your character sheet,
Yeah.
it should you'll see there's some red. There's red. There'll be some sections highlighted in red where they'll want you to add more, and one of them should be age, unless you put it in when you created it.
No.
No, no. Okay.
So look, so I went to the next one of review. Let's see if
Did
it's in
you
there.
if when you created it? Let me just see if I can see your character sheet. Did you name it?
Is it not George Thwaite?
George Twait.
Wait.
Sorry.
I'm gonna have to change this name.
George what?
George Strait, he's a country singer.
George what?
I think you're gonna have to change. George, there it is. Let me take a look. Let me take a look at your character sheet. Crappity do that.
Can you share those with us? I can't see
Yes.
George or Ray's pirate.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
hang
I'm in the
on.
middle of the pirate. Sorry. I'm
Let
working
me
on it.
just do all players and all players. Save changes. So you should be able to now see it. It's in the list.
Yeah, you're on a very long commercial break on Steam or stream or on
God.
Twitch.
Sorry.
No, it's not your fault. It's or maybe
Let
I
me
need to
just-
Oh,
refresh.
there we go.
Okay, there. I've put it up. I've put.
There we go.
Hang on. Let me just. There we go.
You know, you could pronounce George's last name like Twatty.
I
I can see that. George Twatty.
Who would have thought? That
Okay,
would be
I
all
think-
the things going on in your
I
mind.
think. I think the problem, Blue Quill, is that you created your character in the wrong sheet because
Did
it's
I?
not. Yeah, it's not a call. It's not pulp. You did a regular Call of Cthulhu,
Oh,
so you're gonna have to redo it.
oh, bugger.
So what you do is you pick when you do it when you hang on. Let me show you. Let me show you on.
Okay, so when I do character,
Yeah, you create the character, and then you name it. And then when you say save change, you then go to use the character mancer. Tell me when you get there.
yeah,
Okay, so you click on use character mancer,
Yeah.
and then you should have an option to
Gaslight.
do gaslight,
Mhm.
and then you have to click on the Pulp Cthulhu. So that gaslight and Pulp
That's the one I
Cthulhu
clicked on.
are highlighted. Yeah, but it's not the same character sheet. You should have it's a different color character sheet.
Okay, doesn't look any different. So where would I be putting in my age?
So did you choose because okay, so hang on, because the reason why I'm saying I don't think you did, because when I look at it, it doesn't have a talent, right? If you take a look at your it should have. So do you have my stream up? You don't, do you?
I do, yeah.
Okay, so if you take a look at somebody like Emily Fairweather, it's a different colored versus yours
Okay, so
or Jane. So if it's a different style character sheet, and in it you can see like they you can see their talents versus you don't have talents on your thing.
because I'm talentless.
So you're talentless. So you're
I
gonna
can't
have to
open George on mine. Can you? So you've got George open on there.
Yeah, I got George
Can you
open
go
right now.
back though to the beginning?
No, because once you save it sets it. There's no way I can go back and re-choose Pulp Call of Cthulhu. You're gonna have to create a new character.
So go into George Thwaite.
Okay, yeah, and you can just do a thing called edit mode.
Okay.
So
And then what?
so if you go into edit mode,
Yeah.
you should
Oh.
be able to change. Your age is right there. Hang on, your age is right
Oh.
there. Now,
Now
like
I
I say, the
changed color, and that was weird because I wasn't this
change.
color before.
So did you do? So are you in the pulp type Call of Cthulhu or the green type?
So mine now looks like the one you have on the screen.
So you have this one. So the one that doesn't have a talent.
Where would talent be?
So again, talent should be here. Like if you take a look at Jane's, she has skills, combat, backstory, spells, possession, talents, setting. The green one has skills, combat, backstory, spells, possession, settings. So it's missing that tab called talents. Hence the reason why I think you didn't do the pulp one.
All right, I'm going to do this again because as far as I know, I did do both of them. I've gone through either or. Okay, let's try
Okay.
again.
So yeah,
I'm
just
gonna do
make
a
sure that when
test.
you create one, you do Gaslight, Pulp Call of Cthulhu, or Pulp Cthulhu, and then just hit next. Because the very first thing they'll ask you if you're in the pulp is your select your archetype, which you don't get in the regular Call of Cthulhu one.
Okay, so I go for
Okay.
pulp. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, and you hit next,
I do next.
and it should come up with select archetype.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what the
So,
one was that I did before.
well, I don't know, but okay, I don't know
Okay.
why, but it just didn't
Didn't
do
come
it.
up.
No,
All right.
sorry.
And then
Try again.
where would I set my age? Because
You would
this
set
doesn't look
so
any different.
so I think you set your age later on. Don't worry about it. It'll happen, but you really do need to kind of and so what I'm going to advise you is don't hit finish. You do review, don't hit finish until you and
I
I have
didn't
had a
hit
chance.
finish.
Well, it
Okay.
must be finished because all
It's
right,
just
maybe
weird.
that's why.
It's weird.
Okay, well hang
Okay.
on. So okay. All right, try that.
I hit. Pardon?
Yeah, you hit what?
All I did is you said edit, so I hit edit and then everything went green. If I go back here, everything just went green, so that must have saved it.
Right.
Anywho, I will continue to figure this out. Because this isn't
Yes.
even what I put in. Okay.
Okay. Well, anyway, we'll come back to it.
We will work it out.
We'll work it out. And is Kit working on theirs?
Yep. I'm on the distributing skill points at the moment,
Cool.
trying to get the right combination because it's put things in like guns, and then the swashbuckler doesn't like guns, so I'm trying to figure out how to sort that bit out. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. It's put points in rifle shotgun
know-
because I clicked explorer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you know why? And I think the other thing is what I'll let you do is kind of in the edit mode, take that and change it into things like if you have a sword or something like that.
Cool.
I think the problem is the architectures and the occupations, they pull from both not just Gaslight but the other Call of Cthulhu's.
Right.
So you have options to those, which means, like I say, sometimes the one you pick doesn't necessarily fit. I'm surprised there's no pirate one though for
Right.
Gaslight. I don't. Did they have a lot of pirates in the Victorian? Well, yeah, they did, didn't they?
Yeah.
They would have had some. But we'll figure. We can. I can help you with that. We can
Cool.
edit the character sheet and kind of figure out where to go with that next.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. So, so we're halfway through. Not halfway through. We're more than half. So our sessions are going to be 3 hours. Um, so do you guys want to take like a quick 5 minute break, 10 minute break?
Okay.
Does that sound good? Bio break happening about now?
Sure.
Sure.
Fabulous. Okay. So we'll reconvene about 5 or 10 minutes. I will kind of entertain our viewers, our new viewers, with answering any questions you guys might have about our Pulp Call Cthulhu um, uh, t- um, campaign. Um, so Call of Cthulhu is a kind of horror-based um, tabletop RPG game. It's just uh, think about Dungeons and Dragons, but it's more set in Victoria, England, and based around horror, around kind of Cthulhu-like mythologies and mythos. So our characters are going to be working for. Let me go back to my thing. They're going to be working for. There we go. Hudson and Bran. Keep calling them Bran and Hudson. Hudson and Bran, consulting detectives for unusual cases, as are their specialties. They're basically look into otherworldliness. They investigate things. Hudson and Bran are two people who've had uh, numerous interactions with the occult. Um, and both supernatural and the people who are part of the occults. Um, so, in essence, as I explain it, it's a sense of not just humanity evil, but also the otherworldliness, evilness. And they've set themselves up to investigate and to help where others may not be able to help. Um, our characters are a couple of them are pre-generated characters, some of them are creating their own characters with the ideas of these are people who've had uh, not in-depth exposure to occult or mythology or mythos, but have had enough personal experience to realize there's more to the world than what they see. And so they're being brought together to consult with, work with Hudson and Bran on various different cases. What we're going to be doing is starting off with a couple of cases. So their first case, we're going to get into it a little bit at the end. We're going to kind of introduce them to the locations, the home of Hudson and Bran, their location. Uh, give them a tour of the place, give them an overview of the case, and then we'll start into the full case next time. And yeah, if you have any questions, pop them into the chat and we'll get into it a little bit more. This is kind of what we call session 0. So session 0 is about constructing the world that we're going to be playing in. It's Victorian England. So probably around mid 1800s, more likely 1850s, 1860s. So the idea is that these characters will be going through a series of cases. Some of them may be leading to other parts of the world. It's not the world, the other parts of England, or maybe even other parts of the world. This is a world in which, and an era in which we've kind of have very iconic books, horror books of very iconic aspects like um, Frankenstein. I was going to say we had Bram Stoker's Dracula, um, Jekyll and Hyde, Dorian Day. So is it Dorian Day? Yeah, Dorian Day. So very kind of that kind of horror sense, and so very different parts of England. And of course, would have been the time of the, as well in Victorian England, is Jack the Ripper. Um, so really trying to kind of get into that sense of I keep calling it horror, but it's that sense of being in a world in which you have both rich and poor, extreme rich, extreme poor, um, a very crowded city, very dark. We had issues where there is you don't have a well lit city that you would see now. There was a lot of pollution. So you'd have these what they call pea soup fog, where you literally could not see more than 5 or 10 feet ahead of you. So that's kind of the atmosphere we're looking for here. Um, People from their very different classes, with the idea that Hudson and Brown will also be able to have their own kind of resources to help our people, our characters investigate cases. So, with that, I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break, but I hope you are all here to see the very beginnings of um, our, our great intrepid investigators. There we go. See you in 5.
My sheet, because there's nothing on it. So everything I put in is not on there. So maybe you haven't saved it yet. Maybe that's an old one. I hadn't saved it. But you said go to edit, and I pressed edit, and then that's when it went green. I don't know. I'll talk to you later, babe. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Are people back yet? It's okay if you're not.
Yeah, I'm here. Listen, I'm moving
Cool.
a couple of my
I'm here.
stats around if that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Because it doesn't make sense for him to have intimidate and fast talk.
Mhm.
So I'm just going to move some stats, like point by point from
Yep.
one to the other.
Yep.
Where it makes more sense that he have a better listen because he's underground skulking around the sewers,
Mhm.
right? It's like, so.
Yep.
But I'm just doing
Totally.
it point from point and I'm keeping a list. So if you want me to give you a reconciliation, I can.
Yeah, sure. And the other thing is too is that I might get you to save it if you haven't already. Just save it as like Honest John 2.
Oh, well, shit.
If you
I've
can.
already been changing it. So,
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about
sorry.
it. No. Don't worry about it. I trust you guys. I don't think that, especially as it's just point by point and you do get an extra 50 points as well, right?
Yeah, I was
Don't
putting
forget
that
to
in
use
and
that.
I was just like, some of these things don't make sense for this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that makes, and I think too that's the thing about adjusting it to your to the character you are you want to be, right? It's that sense of saying that if it doesn't make sense for you, then it doesn't make sense for you. If you see this character as being with a different skill set, I'm more than happy for you
Well,
to do that.
like, for example, they have 20 in library use for this guy, and yet his thing is English illiterate.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
it doesn't make sense.
That doesn't kind of make sense for him. So
No.
I just moved it down to 10 and I put 10 points into, something else like listen, right?
Yep.
Because he's more
Totally makes
a
sense.
physical character, not an intellectual one. He ain't that smart.
He ain't that smart.
He ain't
Well, it
that
is
smart.
interesting that it specifically says in his character sheet he does not read and write. He knows how to put an X by his thing.
Yeah.
I would say he might know a little bit more than just reading, than just putting an X. But it's not. He's not going to be somebody who's going to read the newspapers on a daily basis.
No, not at all. Exactly. He'd rather probably go in the pub and find out what the deal is.
Exactly.
Like someone can say, what's the word on the street, man?
Yeah.
And yet they gave him 10 in religion, and yet in the backstory he's close to the Reverend. But the Reverend isn't a character we're using, so it doesn't matter really.
True.
So I might not. So 10 in religion, I'm leaving because I don't really care if he's religious.
Well, and the thing about it is he can still be close to the Reverend without being religious.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
Both be helping the folks in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Without the idea that he actually believes.
Yeah. And actually I've been tracking all these so I can remake the sheet the way it originally was if you want me to.
And I do want to tell everybody, it's not like we're going to be using the character sheets in this session. So just don't feel the need to finish everything for this session. We're only going to do more introductory stuff than actually kind of going full on into it. And the other thing too is, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I forgot to put up an X card. Sorry about that. I need to do that later.
I made, just so you know, like I found making the X card a character that all the players could edit, and then they can just throw it on the table.
Yeah, I'll do that.
And just import an X card image for the token, and then you just slide it on. That's the easiest way on Roll20 for me, anyway.
Okay.
And I gave him a little bit of occult, just up to 25, just because he's been friends with the Reverend. And my thought on that is because of his lore in ghouls and the undead, right? And the character of the crawler, right? In the backstory, it's not like he's an expert in it, but he's seen shit, and he probably went to a couple exorcisms with the Reverend on occasion. Why not?
Yeah.
I think that makes kind of sense to me. But I can remake. I can remake him into. I can make your original back.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll do that right now.
I'm going to relaunch, or not relaunch, just go back to streaming. We can still wait a few more minutes, so I'm okay.
Oh, you got 6 people watching in chat. Hey, chat. 6 people. Hey.
Wait. I haven't done it yet. Hang on. Oh shit, wrong one. This one. Hello, we're back. We're back. We're back.
6 people
Say
in
that
chat.
again.
5 people in chat. Hey, 5 people in chat. Gaslight Cthulhu.
Yay.
My character's Honest John. I have 8 kids. Yay. So if you need some sperm to make your own babies, I will sell it to you by the pennies since it's Victorian London.
Your wife is like, stay the
She's a
fuck
good woman, man.
away
She's
from me."
strong. She is strong.
Ah.
You know, I am sure that my character can help with that situation so you don't have a no one.
I don't know. I think this is a day and age that half your kids are going to die anyway. So, no, I definitely want heirs and a couple of spares to take care of me, my dotage.
Well, let's face
For
it, though.
sure.
You're probably not going to last very long yourself.
That's a bit hurtful. That's a bit hurtful, GM. Hey,
It was a hard life being working class, poor class in London.
Keeper. Yeah, I know most people,
Yes.
live to 35. Can you make a copy of Honest John and then
Yep.
make it so I can edit it and I'll put the original stuff
Yep.
back in since I wrote it all down?
Okay, cool.
Sorry about
I
that.
can duplicate. That's okay. Oh, shucks. Sorry. Oh, I know what's going on. I need to do it on this. I need to do it on this one. Okay. Honest John. Duplicate. Can I just duplicate
Yep.
from the... Yes, I can. Duplicate file. There we go.
And just
Should
make
be
it
there,
so
right?
it's editable by everybody.
Okay. Copy of... Edit. All players.
And can be seen by all players.
All players. Yep. Save changes. There you go.
Perfect.
Fable.
Just wait a second.
So yes, if people
where'd
want...
it go?
It should be
Oh,
there.
there it is.
shouldn't
Copy. Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, if people want to add things, feel free, if possible, make a copy. I can do a copy of it.
You might want to
copy
do a
the
copy of all of them and put them somewhere
Yeah, I
else
think
right
I'm going
now.
to do that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just pull them out of your pulp thing and put it into your...
Yeah.
Yeah. Put it into a different folder that we can't touch. But I'll let me fix the copy of Honest John first.
Yeah, we're going to fix... Yeah, you do... Yeah, copy the...
Yeah.
So are you going to use the regular one and do
I'm
the copy
using
as
the regular
original?
one.
Yeah, and
And
copy as
then
the
the
original.
copy will be the original.
Okay, and I'll switch those into... That's a good point. Copy, duplicate for Emily and duplicate for Jane. Okay, and then I'm just going to create a... Where is... How do I do that? Do a add folder. Copies. And then I will move these into the copies. And unfortunately, chat, you won't be able to see the work I'm doing because I work on a GM screen and I'm broadcasting on a regular player screen. Just that so everything can be a surprise.
Aww.
You can't watch the stream and go, oh, that's where the monster is.
Well, that just totally demotivates me from watching you on Twitch.
Oh, come on. I'm entertaining. At the very least, I'm entertaining,
Oh,
aren't
and
I?
you're selling some kind of... Oh, you're selling Instacart right now. And deli
I got
meat.
Travago.
Deli meat the way you like it. Oh, now you're selling Dairy Queen.
Deli meat and Dairy Queen.
Deli
That's quite
meat.
the combo.
That's how you're monetizing yourself. Does it
Well,
make you feel
it's- yeah.
dirty?
What hell of a
No.
hot pirate there, Ray.
Oh, did they have the pirate up? Ray, do you have your pirate up?
Yes. Okay, so
It's
I've
in the
managed to
chat.
sort it out. Yeah, and I sent you in the Discord chat a picture to add because I figured it out last time, but I can't figure out this time.
Okay, hang on.
Would you be able to? Thank you very much.
I will do that. I may not be able to do that. Wait, well, let me just wait. Discord chat. Discord chat. No, I don't have it in the. Is it in the Discord chat? You said?
Yeah,
It's
in the
Shrouded
group one.
Whispers.
Yes, that one.
Oh, in the group one, in our
Yeah.
group. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my.
It's Winona Ryder from the 90s. What can you do?
Told you the pilot was hot.
Yeah. Yeah. Whew.
Well, my character says appearance 80, so I had to match it, you know?
No, I love it. I love it. Okay. So, yes, I will get that for you for a character sheet, for a token, for next time.
Cheers.
Is it still the Kit Bellamy one, or did you just edit that one,
Um,
or did you create a new one?
I made a new one, so it
Oh,
should
there
be
it is.
Bellamy. Yeah, the Dread
Okay.
Pirate Valentine. Yeah.
Let me just do a refresh on that. Okay, let me just see. Do we have characters? Do 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 do. Yeah. There we go. Funny. Okay, for some reason, I can see it in mine, but I can't see. Oh, can you share it? Go in and do show all, edit so that all players can see it and move it.
How do I do that?
So you go into edit.
Yeah.
All right, and then you go. So you go into. So you go into edit, and then when you say in edit, it should say in players' journals, and you can just put all. Oh, actually, I can do it. I can do it. Don't
okay.
worry about it. I can do
Actually,
it.
I don't think players can.
No, that's right.
No.
Save changes.
Oh,
There it
it's
is.
loading.
There it is.
Woo!
All right. So we've got. You're short.
Yep, very short, tiny.
You're short. Your power's not that big.
No, terribly low.
Terribly low. Let's see what we got for talents. We've got smooth talker. You gain a bonus die to do charms. Animal starts game with a faithful animal companion, and gains a bonus die when making animal handling rolls.
Which I'm going to need because I forgot to put points in animal handling. So maybe my parent doesn't like me. Maybe I've got a stubborn parrot that doesn't like me, okay?
Oh, Lord. Lord. I love the backstory. Death cannot
you.
stop true love. All it can do is delay it for a while. Basically,
Yeah.
Wesley from Princess Bride. I love it. Has seen some weird shit and animals of unusual size and quicksand while on their pirating escapades. Wants to know more, deeply fascinated, slightly scared of these creatures. So, I am going to propose that you actually know of or have met. Oh shit! Where did the other one go?
Jane?
Jane.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Zoologist.
Jane's a
good.
zoologist.
Yeah.
And Jane's gone on expeditions across the world. You're a pirate. You've traveled the world. You've probably crossed paths in some weird port where there was discussions. Maybe there was a market of weird and wonderful or weird, specimens, and you both kind of crossed path. Maybe you had a drink talking about your escapades. So you might know each other. You may not. That's up to you to decide. But I can
Oh,
see
yeah,
that.
we can. Yeah, definitely.
Significant people. Their trusty sidekick parrot. What's a pirate without a parrot? Well, that's true. Their dear Daisy. The
Not at all.
locket
That's not.
Daisy
No.
gave them. Their trusty rapier sword. I love it. Okay, so have some. Okay. Talents are really interesting. The backstory is interesting. Your combat. Let's take a look at your combat. You've got dodge. You've got dexterity. Uh, I'll add. I will add your rapier. I'm surprised you didn't
Thank you.
add that.
Yeah, I don't know
I'll
how
add that.
to.
I'll add that later.
Cool.
Next season, next thing, I'll add that. I'll just make a
Awesome.
note of that. Um, because I can do that.
Oh.
Sorry, I just need to. Oh, that's not it. Piece of paper. Why did I start a game without having a piece of paper? Okay, so pirate. I will add the rapier and add your token.
Awesome.
How you doing, Quill?
What? Sorry.
Are you?
I was
I'm
distracted by
sorry.
the dog.
I'm sorry. Did you? Are you working on the thing, or do you want to just? We'll do this. We'll do your character afterwards.
No, we'll do because I did it the way you said to do it, so
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
really see why it didn't work. So
Okay.
I thought I
That's
might as well
okay.
wait.
Yeah, we can do it. We'll have it all. We'll have it set up. So
Okay.
you're
Sounds good.
all here. You've all been invited. This is London. London was big. I mean, they said. I think when I looked at the facts in about London, yeah, during the Victorian England. What did they say? Actually, one of the things I read was that the service, which is people so basically servants in households, whether it was the middle class or the upper middle class, was the largest for the most part of Victorian England. Service was the main employer, largest employer of people in England. So kind of interesting. But sorry, I'm a bit like a squirrel. um, but yeah, I mean, I think the population. Where's the population? I had information about the population. Anyway, it was big. It was big, and it grew. It grew quite big. There was an influx of people from the Irish famine. There was people from other parts of the world. A lot of people from within kind of rural England coming in. So it was huge. It was big. They did a lot of work on their sewers because of the influx and because of the need to kind of focusing on public health. But we have you all landing at the headquarters of Hudson and Bran. Hudson and Bran. What is Hudson and Bran? Hudson and Bran.
Nice digs.
Why didn't that change over for me? Hang on for a sec.
They have a pool table, a billiards table.
They have a pool table. They have a billiards
Ooh,
table.
fancy.
Okay, for some reason my Roll20 is not playing nice. I'm just redoing it. Hang on. Nope, it isn't. Why is that the case? Maybe if I do that.
Sometimes you just have to
Okay.
refresh too.
Yeah. It's funny. It's refreshing on everybody else except for mine. And I wonder why. Okay, well, that's okay. So, Hudson and Bran, detective agency. So they've basically set up shop on 33 Golden Square, Soho, London. They basically have two floors, a lower floor and a ground floor of a building. so the ground floor has the kind of main area. It has, if you take a look, there's the front hall, there's a parlor, there's there's a library evidence desk. So they've got a large rep, rep, repertoire, library, large case histories of all the cases they've dealt with, that are actually people can consult with, know about that kind of stuff, and but only the really kind of probably more experienced people can access that. So for you, you are all kind of more on the introductory level. You are here. In essence, Hudson and Brand wants to test you out to see whether you have the skills and has the fortitude to handle these kinds of cases, whether they can actually trust you with some of these things. And it's not that they're afraid you're going to go off and tell secrets, because for the most part, nobody's going to believe you if you go off telling about horrors. But it's more about that kind of trust and all that kind of stuff. And I should have said at the very beginning, and I apologize that I didn't say this, just as that part of setting the stage for everybody. My understanding, the way I like to play it, is the idea that you are all, whether or not you know each other, as a group, you come together in a common purpose of you're not here to kind of hurt each other, or there's no traitor aspect to this, to these games, and I don't necessarily like to play that. If you feel like your character has secrets, we can talk about that. If they have ulterior motives, that's fine, but it's not necessarily one in which you want to sabotage the gameplay for other people. And I think for the most part, I've played with all of you. I think we all kind of play with that level, but that's kind of where I go with that. So you've all kind of come together, and so in essence, this is a test for you guys to see whether they can trust you, whether you'd be interested, whether you can handle the work, but also how you get how well you work together, and whether or not it's your ability to also know whether you want to work with this crew and the work they do as well. So, but they kind of give you a tour. There's a kitchen, a well-stocked kitchen. There are two servants who live and work in the area. There's a cook and basically a kind of general laborer, person who does basically anything that's required. Um, there are guest rooms. So there are times when people who work for the agency have to stay there for whatever reason. Maybe they get in late, they're from afar, they're coming to visit, they're consulting. So there's a couple of guest rooms. There are also rooms for the two servants, and there's rooms for Hudson and Bran. You have, what is that? We've got bathrooms, that kind of stuff in this area here. So you're likely kind of going to be meeting in this area here. Now downstairs is where things kind of get interesting. They have a this is kind of the shooting range and their workshop. So they work on things. So they work on tools, they work on weapons, they work on mechanical things that help in their work. You don't necessarily know that for sure, but you see things around here and you have an understanding that um, it's a hub of activity. So there's probably a couple people doing that. There's also a gun range, so you can work on your skills, shooting range. There's also an ability to kind of do self-defense development skills. So there's people learning and exercising and strengthening, but also learning about disarming people and how to fight and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of where that would happen as well. There is the billiard table for rest and relaxation. There's a coal room. Um, and there's a couple more rooms down here. I think the servants' rooms are down here, and a guest room is down here as well. Up here, there's a garden. So it has not just your regular kind of kitchen garden, with herbs and vegetables and all that. But there's some more interesting plants that would be useful for various different concoctions. Who's our chemist?
That'd be me, Emily.
That
Yeah.
you kind of go in, you think, ooh, what do you think of this?
Uh, looks like great ingredients. I can see how this can be made into a bomb or a poison. Oh, those over there, those would be great poisons.
Um, and Jane, you were downstairs, and when you were in that workshop, what were you thinking?
I was trying to look at some of the investigative tools for magnification or for trying to get some sort of different waves of light to look at hair samples and things like that. So trying to look to see uh, what is there that I may not have accessed before to see if I can maybe bring my own samples in on the quiet and have a little closer look.
All right. And Honest John, what do you think of the digs?
Honest John is spending a lot of time in the washroom, having never been in an indoor washroom before, and is trying out the toilet and pulling it and looking at how, trying to figure out indoor plumbing because in Victoria, this is, very rare for his lower class being, right? So he's checking that out. He's also was checking out the kitchen and taking advantage of the hospitality and grabbing some biscuits and stuff to take home to his wee children and his beloved
Oh.
wife.
You're going to be pocketing treats, are you?
Asking first, not stealing.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, the housekeeper is very charmed by you. I'm sure you have a very charming personality.
I am.
And she slides you a couple of extras, knowing that what it's like to have hungry mouths at home.
Yeah, I tell her all about all 8 of them until she gives me more.
And then she looks and thinks, oh, she gives a couple more for the wifey, too.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about George? What does George think of all this?
George is looking around and looking at all the furnishings and the bits and pieces and things and trying to get a sense of what Hudson and Brand are like and kind of trying to get a feel for them as people because George likes to get a hold of how people are because it's one of the important things to his everyday life. So yeah, I'm just looking around at everything, sussing it out.
Cool. And what does Bellamy think with the pirate? Now, does Bellamy have the parrot on their shoulder?
Yes. But begrudgingly because we don't get along because I've not got any points in animal handling. So yes. So the parrots clawed themselves to my shoulder.
Ah, fuck off!
Yeah, literally. I'm like, all right, bird brain. It's been a while since we did anywhere but at sea, you know?
Sorry.
So we've got a bit of a
Yeah.
finally we can get away from each other, me and my parrot. So I'm like, buzz off.
Well, I have to say, the cook slash housekeeper is looking at you warily and just does not agree with the fact that there's a parrot in there, but she's not going to say anything to you.
I'm looking at her like, please don't cook it. Like, it is annoying me, but it does come in handy. Please don't cook it.
Okay, so you're all basically kind of in the front room now. You're sitting around. You're waiting for Hudson and Brand to kind of come in. They've, like I say, the housekeepers offered you, the cook housekeepers offered you tea and refreshments. You have had a chance to take a look at the things while they're because part of this is they're going to just they kind of want to see how you guys gel. So I want you to all kind of I am going to ask you to do this, and I don't want to put you in on the spot, but try to role play your interactions while you're waiting for this. There's 5 of you. you're all sitting down across from each other. Some of you may actually, like I say, know each other, right? Because you may have had these kind of things. You may recognize each other. I was thinking that Honest John and maybe Honest John and George may have actually kind of crossed paths as well. So tell me, kind of, tell me what you're saying, what you're thinking. Maybe even talk to each other.
Well, I think because I've met them before, I would know the parrot's name. But what is the parrot's name?
Oh, quick! Someone come up with a parrot name.
Oh, what
You
room
can
are
answer
we
it,
in?
It's okay.
I was going to say, no wonder you don't have good animal handling. You don't even name your
I
parrot.
don't know if a parrot.
You're basically.
What, this thing?
Parrot.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to put you guys. I'm actually going to put you guys down here. I'm going to say you're down. Oops, hang on. I'm in the wrong screen. You're going to be down in the pool hall.
We're playing billiards.
You might be playing billiards. I mean, I was thinking about putting you here, but that's kind of got the research library. I don't want you guys being snooping around, so we'll put you down there for now.
Yeah,
What?
trust.
I would never, ever, would I ever snoop in the library? Come on.
Well, Honest John is going to pick up a cue and start racking up the cue balls or billiards balls. So, anyone fancy a game?
I'll have a game.
Sure. It's all physics.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Right, this is pretty nice looking table they got here.
I'm
Very, very
surprised you
nice
play
digs.
billiards.
Yeah. Anyone want to put a wager on today's game? Maybe a penny or two.
George is just smiling at all of this.
Come on, George. I know you
I'll
like a
give
bit
you
of
a
risk,
penny.
don't you? Like a
I'll
bit of
give you a penny. I'm just gobsmacked that you actually play billiards. So there you go.
Uh-huh.
Where did you learn?
I've kind of
We're a
heard
local
this
pub.
sort of thing before, so I'd like to see how you play first before we wager.
Ooh.
Sound very confident.
Right, well, you
Oh, so
know, if it's a turn off, well, we just teach you them. Forget the
Okay.
money.
Well,
We'll
remember
teach
your
ya.
name is Honest.
I am honest. I'm
Yeah.
not going to fleece
You're
anybody.
an
I've just
honest
met.
man, are you honest?
Two honest
Yes,
people have to go around
absolutely.
telling
Go.
everyone they're honest.
If you don't know how to play, let's just do a teaching session first. How's that? And then when you feel like it, let me put a coin on it. We're all friends
right.
here, aren't we?
George is still
So-
smiling at all of
Absolutely.
this.
I am going to let you guys play, and I'm going to let you roll later on, and we'll roll a D100 and see whoever is lowest has won the game. But we'll see, we'll let this play out a little bit longer.
Well,
Tell me
what about a dexterity check?
Well, the problem is Quill doesn't have her.
Oh,
thing
gotcha.
up yet. So
Yeah. How
that's why I'm
tall are you?
thinking-
Honest.
I think I'm pretty big, actually. Let me
Yeah?
double check how big am I. I am 70 in size.
Whoa.
So it wouldn't be,
70.
Weird.
you wouldn't be fucking with me.
7-0.
Yeah, how can
wouldn't.
you be that?
I'm only 40. I wouldn't.
You'd be
I got you.
underfed.
Thought you'd be underfed. Well, probably as the bruiser, he made sure he was the first to grab something to eat in the poorhouse.
Yeah.
You beat everyone else up for their dinner. That's what it was.
All right.
Yeah.
I've learned to
Rack
love
'em up.
potatoes.
You know this table is the size of a snooker table.
It's very nice.
It is very nice. Very expensive.
I've never played at a table this nice.
Jane is just listening and scritching the head of the parrot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
the parrot's
I'm gonna let you
squawking, going,
break.
Animal lady,
Go on, Honest.
animal lady.
Let you break.
Okay. So hang on. While you're doing that, so I want to. Do you have animal handling as a skill?
I don't think there is one, is
I
there?
do.
Is
Yeah.
there not?
Yeah, there is.
Jane?
Yes,
Jane, yeah.
I believe there
There
is.
should be one. Yeah.
Somewhere.
I
Mm,
believe
not
I
my
do.
character
Let me
sheet.
just see.
I want you to
I'm a
roll
bit
that.
concerned why I need animal handling to play billiards.
No, not for you, because Jane is scratching the
You know what?
parrots.
I don't have animal handling. I have ride. So
I don't
Oh,
have
okay.
I don't have
Okay.
animal handling
Yeah.
either.
so
Okay, Do ride. Let's see what you say with ride. Let's see what happens.
Okay, let me see here.
Oh, here we
You're
go.
gonna ride the parrot?
I mean,
Well,
The big
technically,
parrot.
the parrot's
this
riding
cannot be
you. We
blamed
know
on
details.
me.
Details.
Oh, you can do it.
Okay, sorry, just
can't-
getting the right thing up here.
That's
If
okay.
you can't tame the parrot, don't feel
I,
bad because
I
I
did
can't.
I
No.
did falsely say we won't need your care. I won't make you roll for anything, but this is too tempting. I want to see whether or not you
Yeah,
you
exactly.
charmed a pirate or a parrot or not.
A pirate parrot. Okay, let's see. We'll do right. Skills.
Oh no, only just.
Only
Only
just.
just.
The parrot just nips at your fingers.
Ooh,
Oh,
mean.
fuck off!
Fuck off.
Okay, so
Your parrot has Tourette's,
Uh,
man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like mango.
Jane just kind of does a little grimace smile, trying to act as though she's not as embarrassed as she maybe is. Like, oh, that's cool. That's no problem. That's so fine. No problem there.
Oh, I'm sorry, my dear. Did Mango get you? He does do
Mango.
that to people. Mango, buzz off.
Mango.
He has a vendetta
Mango.
against me on the account of the name Mango.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Mango. Get a token from Mango.
Mango.
Imagining the character from S.
So,
I think upon seeing
Well,
you
you know,
get
we all get a little hangry from time to time. It's all fine.
and upon seeing you get attacked by Mango, I have visions of this happening before. I'm like, hang on, Mango's attacked this woman before. I swear he has. Hang on a minute. Jane, is that you? Jane?
Yeah. You know, I guess I can fool you, but I can't fool the parrot. Hey, how are you keeping?
Doing very well, Jane. Well, dear Jane, you should know better than to mess with Mango. You know what he's like. Once he's pricked you, he'll do it again. He'll get you. I'm looking at him.
I know. I'm usually at a distance observing. You know, it's just so tempting when their ends reach to. But no, I should give him his space. That's fair.
I think Mango deserves his own freaking planet at this point, Jane. I'm gonna be real with you.
Have you been out? Have you been out voyaging lately?
Well, we came back from a rather difficult
Or
voyage
staying
in
a little
the
closer to shore?
yeah, we came back from the fire swamp. I don't know if you've heard of it, Jane. There were rodents of very unusual size, and me and Mango decided we'd had enough of that shit. So we decided to to come back to land for a little while, and track down these people, this duo. Have you heard of them? The ones that own this house? They reckon that they
I
can
see.
teach me about the fire swamp and the rodents, so I can be well suited to fighting them when I see them next. Not that I ran away, of course. Like I didn't run. No. I just shouted at the beasts, and they ran from me.
Discretion is the
honest.
better part of valor, my friend. That's it's not a worry, not a concern at all.
What brings
Inconceivable.
you here,
Now,
Jane?
last we
Mango.
spoke, you had
Inconceivable.
some notes, did you?
Mm.
Well, one of the gentlemen here, Mr. Hudson, uh, had been publishing his varied reports, and you know I read most everything these days with a raised eyebrow, but certainly there were a few stories of some unusual um, reports of some unusual activity that was coming up from from particularly in the north there, and I was curious to see what other information he may have had, as I know sometimes not every bit of information makes its way into the article. So I wanted to see what what information he may have gathered, or if he had any other witnesses that maybe he could refer me to, just so that I could add them to the logs.
Oh, I know you, Jane. You and your curious mind. I'll make an adventure of you yet, Jane. You watch. One of these days, you'll end up on my pirate ship. A pirate, a true pirate. Maybe you can tame Mango.
I'd prefer to keep all of my my limbs and eyes, so we'll see. But I'm not going to close myself to the possibility.
Oh, as you wish it.
Speaking of parrots, can I try feeding Mango something?
By all
I've seen
means,
the,
give it a go. He eats everyone else and spits foul obscenities at them, but be my guest.
here, I've got a grape. Can I use persuade on the parrot?
Okay, tell me how you're going to persuade. Like, describe what you
I'm
do.
Oh,
But
I love that question.
I will allow you to persuade, but I want to know what you do to persuade the parrot.
excellent. Well, I was going to start feeding the parrot fruit and telling them they're a very nice parrot. And, just because your pirate is rude and obnoxious doesn't mean that you need to be as well. And I bet we could be good friends. And best of all, I bet if I asked you nicely, you might be willing to do something rude and obnoxious to Bellamy later.
Okay, roll. Persuade.
Oh, stop my parrot! Shit!
So,
I
Bye,
was
birdie.
confused. That's hard.
No, maybe
Mango
it's a
fly-
polyamorous parrot. A polyamorous parrot. Yeah.
That's
Mango
what
is
I mean by Polly Wonder Cracker.
Mango is absolutely entranced. Flies to your shoulder.
Oh.
Actually, before flying to your shoulder, nips Bellamy on the ear and flies to your shoulder and says, "Feed me."
Hey,
God, what
well,
have you done to my
you know-
parrot, you enchanter? Enchanter, right?
You named your parrot Mango. I tried feeding them some mangoes. It worked. If you weren't so rude to your parrot, maybe they'd like you better. Just saying.
Oh, shots
You dare
fired.
scorn me?
But
I-
why don't you meet some of my spaniels? They go everywhere with me.
Oh. Well, two can
Gosh,
play at that game.
You brought your spaniels with you?
Of course.
Oh,
The
shit.
character sheet says they go everywhere with me.
Oh, sorry. So the housekeeper is really looking at you, the whole crew of you, like
Yes.
thinking,
Well,
Jesus, I'm
I
going to have to
wondered
be
this-
cleaning after these guys.
Did Honest bring the rats?
No,
Oh my god, we're all gonna have animals. Jeez.
honest, did you bring rats?
Well, I don't think Honest would make anyone aware of it.
Oh no.
He's gonna have a big
Hidden
old
rats.
and his rats are probably well hidden and well trained. They're probably asleep in his inner pockets, enjoying the warmth. And he's probably slipping them some biscuits and some of the food he got to keep them nice and quiet and well behaved, not wanting to, decent folk wouldn't understand. So,
This is giving
in
me worse
character,
than
you guys aren't going to know. But likely his rats are with him, but in the inner pockets of his big, enormous trench coat type jacket.
I don't know. The dogs might be sniffing that out. One dog keeps keeps coming up to your pocket and just keeps like.
And I'm just
Jumping
going to
up
do a
on his-
Caesar Milan thing, go, and just break his attention, touch his neck, not in a harmful way, but in a way that says, I'm dominant and mind your business, little puppy.
All right, you roll intimidation.
Oh.
I'm
You intimidate-
not trying to be mean. I'm just trying
No,
to.
you're not trying. No, you're trying to
trying
dominate.
to-
Well, you're trying to kind of show who's boss.
Yeah, just don't fuck
Yeah.
with my rats, man.
Go on, John. You yeah. You did
There
it.
you go.
Do it.
Yeah, the dog just looks up at you and just kind of kind of slowly backs away.
I'm Alpha.
And
You're not. Mind your business, boy.
all right. So
I think
In a
so
nice way, not because obviously Honest John is an animal lover.
so coming back to the pool game, you guys are still at it. I'm gonna get both of you to Quill. You can access the dice, the 100
Yeah.
dice,
Yeah.
and I want both of you to roll. So the
What do you
lowest
wanna say?
wins.
What are we rolling the?
You're rolling a D100.
Okay.
Is this for billiards?
Yes.
Oh,
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 I just
barely.
losing
lose.
as well.
Sorry. Oh yeah, you're playing
Yeah.
too. Oh yeah, yeah.
And I'm
So
currently losing.
Yeah.
You just a little.
Honest-
You gotta have a finesse in your touch, my lady. You know that's you just gotta. You see, that's the problem, George. George, I think George, you're a little bit short-sighted, right? You can't do the angles, but you just gotta have a little finesse. You know what I mean? Gentle, gentle, but firm.
what does George do?
Sorry. What do I do?
Yeah, what does George do?
I wonder whether I should hand over a penny.
Sorry, and what?
We're teaching.
Hand over a penny for losing
Oh,
the
hand-
game.
Not paying just yet. You're not paying just yet. We're teaching. George and I are teaching.
Oh, we're teaching.
We're teaching. This is
Oh.
just a teaching around there. Don't worry about the penny.
I don't have to worry about my penny. I'm wondering whether actually Honest here has been using his rats to fiddle around with a cue or something when I wasn't looking.
Do you know about the rats? Because
I do know about
Whoa.
the rats. I can see the bulge in your pocket.
I'm happy to see you. Maybe I'm happy to see you.
I thought that was more about the sheer ridiculous number of children that Honest has got over
Yeah,
there.
there you go.
Yeah.
Ooh, woo.
I'm always happy to see my friends.
I will. Emily will make a relatively subtle gesture that implies that the pool cue can very easily go up Honest's nose.
I wasn't making any gesture towards you. George and I are talking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not doing anything with you
Yeah.
at all. I'm a happily married man.
Yep. He doesn't have the time.
I really don't.
He
I
doesn't make
really don't.
babies.
Not if you're gonna have 8 children.
Yeah.
8 is enough, let me tell you.
Well, George on hearing 8 is a little bit like, oh my gosh. Is it a way you keep warm?
My wife is the
Oh,
finest
winter.
woman in this city, let me tell you. Nothing but love and respect for her. She's a fine, fine woman and a fine mother.
You're a lucky man then.
I am 100% a lucky man, and I know that. And I would never, ever betray that because I'm honest, John.
Yeah. I'm not certain she's lucky though with 8 kids.
Bro, they're so damn cute. Honestly, you should swing by sometime. Swing by sometime, maybe Sunday after church. And you could meet them all, George. They could use a good
Okay.
uncle like you. Uncle Georgie Twat.
Yeah. And how old are they? Like, are they actually working?
Well, we all got to work to make ends meet, don't we? You know,
We do.
we all do have to work to make ends meet.
Your accent seems to keep changing on us. I don't really know where you're from.
I don't have a clue where I'm from either.
We're really sure he's that honest.
Yeah.
It's a speech impediment,
Yeah.
don't you know? It's a
I'll
speech
see your
impediment,
kids one day.
There,
don't you know?
be
It's a,
careful there, George. It sounds like somebody's looking for a babysitter.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, in my game, it's always good to know kids who know the streets and know where stuff is. So I'm happy, honest, you know, to see your kids. Maybe they could be like good friends of mine. Maybe I can be a friend of theirs. Who knows?
well, don't you have kids of your own yet?
Not that I know of.
Oh, well, fair enough.
Well, you know, I'm a man that's just trying to find my way in the world, and I haven't quite found a wife yet who is to my liking.
Did I hear right? Like I seem to recall, wasn't your dad a butcher? Are you a butcher by trade?
My
too?
dad was a butcher.
Was he?
He was indeed.
Is he still? Is he still
Did
in
you used to
business?
come and get chops from us then, eh, George?
That just sounds more Irish than anything
Well, I would
else.
like to go.
Well, honest is falling into Irish. I thought I'd
I'm
have a
falling
joke.
into
Anyway,
Irish.
yes,
I
my
really
dad
am
was a
falling
butcher.
into Irish.
Yeah.
I totally am.
Figuring
It's
stuff
all the
out,
Ed
you know?
Sheeran around
That's
there,
what
but
session zero's for.
I know. I just love it.
I was just
We're
gonna
just
say,
having
is your
fun.
dad still around? And does he still have his butcher shop?
He does still have his butcher shop. Yes, Waite's Butchery.
Doesn't he make
Yeah.
a particular kind of sausage? No, I just can't remember the name of it. That's pretty well known. What's the?
He makes an apple and sage sausage. That's
Oh
quite
yes,
fine. Honest, he's quite known for that.
yes. I
Yeah,
think
plenty of
yeah.
local food establishments buy his sausages as well as the missuses around streets and things. They buy it.
Well, are you
And
gonna
my
go
mum's
into the
quite
trade
handy with
with
a
your
bit of
dad then?
pastry. Pardon?
Are you gonna go into the trade with your dad then? Because I mean, you guys could really build that. He's got such a good reputation with the sausage and whatnot. He could totally build that into a thriving spread. You know, maybe open up another shop in another part of the city. You know what I'm saying? And have your dad's shop and have your shop and really build it up. You've got quite an opportunity there, George.
Yeah, I could. My brother Jim's doing it.
Oh, is
I
he?
like my fingers.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So,
And I found
and-
I got talents elsewhere, so and he's quite happy. He's quite happy. He's got
So
Jim to
Jim's
help him.
lost a finger? Are you serious? How many?
Oh my God, how many butchers do you know that haven't lost a finger or a tip or
Well, you're right there.
two? I mean, my dad's got only half a thumb on his right hand.
Did they find the finger?
Well, who cares? It was cheap meat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Meat is
we're
meat.
still in a time where we're actually my dad is very honest. We're in a time now where actually plenty of butchers. It could be horse meat, could be dog meat, and it's colored, and it could be rancid. The stuff my dad sells is fresh. It's not going to kill you, which is something he is proud of. His food won't make you have the shits.
I've had his sausages, and I can, and Honest John turns around the room. I can attest to that. Damn good sausages won't give you the runs.
Yeah.
Although I wouldn't mind
Yeah.
trying this indoor fancy water closet that they have here. I've never
Oh, yeah.
actually tried one before, and that's technology.
Okay.
I tell you.
So I'm gonna stop this. I am so enjoying this, but we're like 2 minutes before 7. So
We
but
want
I
to get
love
into the
this.
shit part. Look, we were just so close to getting to the shits and
I
giggles.
know. I know.
Yes.
So Hudson and Brand come in, and they're what they're gonna say. So we'll just set the scene, then we'll end. So they thank you all for coming. They kind of explain that the work they do often means relying on a wide variety of skills and people who can provide those skills. Each one of you have been identified as people who they think would work really well. And they want to kind of help maybe test you out on a case. So the idea is that what they tend to do is they try to bring people together who act as a team to do investigations. And that those, and continue to work as a team. So they want to test out whether that will work, make sure, test out to see if you guys are interested. I won't get too much into the role playing because, like I say, we're almost at 7. So, but what they're proposing is, and I'm going to see if I can show you. They have Hudson has a school friend, an old school chum, who's kind of lost touch, but who has reached out, his wife has reached out requesting assistance. Oh, everyone, let's see if you can see this. So you can see this. So he's just received a telegram indicating that the asking for assistance at Forby House. That there is his school chum used to suffer from infantile brain fever, and it appears that he has a relapse and needs their aid. And although he hasn't visited that friend had lost touch with that school chum from a long time ago, he feels that perhaps he's done some preliminary things and believes that not only can he help his friend, but maybe this is of not just of interest from with regards to friendships, past connections, but maybe of interest with regards to the general work they do. So the idea is that you would be sent there. You would be paid a small stipend. The idea is that this would be something that hopefully could be reviewed. Resolved, in a couple of days, kind of stuff. But the idea is you would first kind of go over and investigate, offer assistance to Mrs. Forby to try to resolve what is happening with her husband. And we will wrap it up at that. We'll come back in a month's time, and we'll start off kind of from there. You guys will have an opportunity to ask questions about the case and anything else, and then we'll kind of get you kind of right into the case, sending you off to the house and stuff like that. I want to say that I actually absolutely loved this session. You all leaned into it fabulously. I am just, I am. It lifts my heart because it's everything what I wanted, and thank you all for that. But how's everybody feeling?
Good. Woo!
Fine.
Yeah, excited.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very good.
Excited to try
Cool.
something
So-
new in a new way with Gaslight Cthulhu. To be in this
Yeah.
setting
Yeah.
will be really fun.
Yeah.
I like the idea
Yeah.
of the traits and the skills, the
Mhm.
extra little things that we can add. That
Yeah.
I'm excited about it.
Cool.
Yeah, that'll be fun to have a look at now.
Cool.
I'm ready for some
And
explosives.
thank you for.
Sorry.
Explosives.
No, I also am ready for explosives.
I'm ready
I
for
think that'll
parrots.
be a very fun niche for you to have chemistry. That's brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you
So
for stepping up to lead the game, and I also apologies for the Shadow Dark folks that I got my dates confused before, but this is fantastic to confirm. We have our next date for this one set. I'll put it in the notes.
Yes, the next date. I thought we had set a date.
Yeah, it was in the chat.
Ninth.
Yeah,
Ninth
the
of
was
May.
in the-
yeah. No, that's
Or,
Shadow
uh,
Dark.
No, it was there too.
Oh, was it?
Hang on, let me
So
grab it again.
Okay.
Do.
Oh, by
Um,
the way, my schedule has changed.
okay.
So I can do my original May 2nd, since we did move it to May 9th, because I was going to be going up to IntrigueCon. I'm no longer going up to IntrigueCon. So just so you know, if we need to move Shadow Dark to May 2nd, back to May 2nd, we can. If we're happy to leave it on May 9th, perfect. Up to you guys.
Just on that
Second.
though, I am doing something for work now on May 2nd.
Okay, no problem. We'll just leave it on May 9th.
Okay, fabulous.
No, that's awesome.
Perfect. I see May 16th for the next
Cthulhu.
Gaslight session.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and just saying if we look into June 2nd, the month of June, I know that we're not going to be able to do the June 20th, but we can do June 13th. Does that work for people as well?
Ooh, I've got ArdCon June 13th. And
Okay.
but are you guys yeah, so I've got ArdCon, but you can play without me. It's
Oh,
just
we can
do
do-
either.
it's just that
13th.
Sorry, say that again.
Sorry, I can't do the 13th either.
Okay.
It's my first banner in the works.
Okay. So what we might then do is skip June and maybe do July. Are people okay with July?
Okay, while we're in June, can I check to see if everyone's okay for June 6th for Shadow Dark or not? Or is that a
Yeah.
wash
Yep.
too?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
6th.
That can work.
Okay.
June 6th for June 6th for Shadow Dark. We can do that.
Okay.
Uh,
And then July, what?
Well, I was going to say, do we want to stick to every second or third Saturday? So maybe.
July 18th would be the July one.
Yeah, let's do.
I'm free.
It's July. Are people okay July 18th?
Yeah.
Okay.
So far, so good.
So we'll skip June and we'll do July 18th, and then we'll go from there to see how, because hopefully we can wrap this one up in 2 sessions. The case, but we'll see. Maybe we'll need more, and we'll see how people are feeling. How does that feel?
That's great.
Sounds good.
That's good.
All right.
Sounds like a plan.
If you want to send me anything, feel free. You're on the Discord chat. That's great. As for chat, I hope you all enjoyed today's session 0 of Gaslight, Shrouded Whispers in the Gaslight. And I do hope you all join us next month on May 16th. And as well, join us as well on May 9th, because we also do a Shadow Dark, where Vixter is the DM and takes us through a dungeon crawl.
Lesbian Vikings, guys. Lesbian
Lesbian
Vikings.
Vikings.
Arr!
Lesbian Vikings. Other than
Cannot
that,
be
thank
overstated.
cannot be overstated. Okay, and thank you all for joining, and we hopefully will see you next month. So I'm just stop the streaming,